make that possible for you folks. So if you're watching it on TV and streaming the broadcast, it doesn't just come easy. It's a big effort to get this done, but thank you, Total Media. It's been spectacular this spring. It certainly has been a positive thing.
Right, and we want to emphasize, while we are video streaming live, you have the opportunity to play it back later as it is posted on the Total Media Facebook page and the Total Media YouTube page. And so people who are very interested in the game who are here, that includes us, we can go back and see the game, basically.
Well, and you know, and Coach McGraw has mentioned how much the kids love to come back and watch the game later on. Hopefully they don't think, hopefully we sound like we know what we're talking about, but they love that capability, and I can imagine that takes place an awful lot.
All right, well, the teams have been introduced here, big-time situation. And the Ironmen have actually taken the field, so we're just a minute or two away from the start of this game. We'll go over the Jackson defense first, and it's a defensive alignment that is very predictable. The Ironmen are healthy for this game, thank the Lord. Ramey Wyan, as we said, is out there on the mound, and our all-district catcher, Noah Ernst, is the backstop. The infield, Gavin Jones at first base, Boston Campbell at second, Ryan Simets at short, and Easton McGraw at third base. In the outfield and left field, Nolan Johnson, center field, Cade Wooford, and in right field, Bodie Wooford.
Pete, while we got just a moment before the first batter for Athens steps up, all district teams were announced. How about a shout out for the Ironmen? Gavin Jones, first team all-district. Noah Ernst, first team all-district. Ryan Simets, first team all-district, our sophomore shortstop. Second team all-district, Boston Campbell and Nolan Johnson. Honorable mention, Ramey Wyatt, who is on the mound here and will be pitching here in moments. And special mention went to Xander Irvin and Cade Wooford. Congratulations to all those Ironmen. And when you're 22-4, that is great. We have that much representation, and there's some there still could have been there also.
Right. You know, if you look at the all FAC representatives for the Ironmen and the all district representatives for the Ironmen, it is not exactly the same people. And what that says is that the Ironmen have a number of players who were good enough for, postseason honors.
Absolutely. Well, let's play ball.
All right. Stepping in for the Bulldogs is Justin Bennett, the third baseman. He is the leadoff hitter. Ironmen are ready to go. Ramey Wyatt toes the rubber. Here comes the first pitch of this district semifinal game, and it's low and away for ball one.
Bennett is a lefty. Ramey naturally a righty.
Weather conditions, we're in the 80s, bright sunshine. I don't see a cloud in the sky. Next pitch to Ramey is outside and low for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Ramey, a reputation for control. Often gets stronger as the game goes on. 2-0 pitch to Bennett. That is down low. That hit the grass, or hit the dirt there in front of the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. So Wyatt behind here, the leadoff hitter, Justin Bennett of the Bulldogs. Wyatt kicks and fires the 3-0 pitch. In there for strike one. Looked like that Bennett was taking all the way, which you would understand.
One thing we'll talk about a little bit, Pete Wilson, we talked about the dimensions of the field. It's a big field, long outfield out there. A lot more space behind home plate and in foul territory that the Ironmen are not used to.
It's just a little bit low and away, and a good start to the game for the Bulldogs as their leadoff hitter, Justin Bennett, draws a walk. Landon Baker, the center fielder, will bat second. Let's see how Coach Todd Nuzzum plays it. He's down in the third baseline. See if they're wanting to do something on a bunt or something, or maybe try to see if Bennett can steal off Ernst.
Take a peek at the leadoff capabilities of Bennett.
Pitch is low and inside ball one. Bennett got a really big lead out there. Didn't go, but got a big lead.
We've seen every home game for the Ironmen, and I'll tell you, people just don't run on Noah Ernst very often, Pete. We've seen such few stolen bases, and if there is a stolen base, it's usually a ball in the dirt or something that gets through.
And time is called, and looks like Coach Morgan Williams is going to go out and have a talk with Ramey. I'm not sure there's anything wrong physically out there, but kind of a delayed trip out there. Ramey walked off the back of the mound and was kind of kicking the dirt out there.
Usually it's a little something in his mechanics. Coach Morgan does a great job with that. We've said all year long he goes out and has these meetings. Now, if Coach McGraw goes out, you're usually the hook. But Coach Williams will go out, give him a little pep talk, maybe suggest something, and 99% of the time this year, very good results.
Meeting was very short. Coach Williams going back to the dugout. Landon Baker steps back into the batting box. Wyatt looks over his shoulder at first base. Good lead out there by the runner. That pitch is a little bit inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes.
Shows us how spoiled we are at Sparky Haller Field. Pete, we're an awful lot closer to home plate than we are here.
We are right behind home plate, just a little bit to the left of the batter. 2-0 pitch is called strike one on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Some of the Athens faithful didn't agree with the umpire, but that'll probably happen throughout any baseball game.
Wyatt looks over at the runner at first. The count is 2-1 to the batter. And that is a line drive into right field over the second baseman's head. Quick throw to second. Is he out? They got him!
What
Oh
a
my
play.
gosh! What a play by Bodie Wolford!
It was a line drive, hit hard. Bodie gets it on one hop, and he's thinking enough to throw it to second base, and they beat the runner because he had to make sure Bodie didn't make the catch.
Right, I think it was apparent to me, maybe not to the batter, it was going to fall in there, but he wanted to make sure, and then what a heads-up play
Absolutely.
by Bodie Wolford, who was not playing deep against the right-handed hitter. And so what should have been a single with 2 runners on now becomes a 1-out situation and a runner at first. Here is left-handed hitter Easton Nuzum. He is the son of the coach. He is the shortstop.
Going to assume the shortstop and batting third that he's one of their, if not their top player, and the coach's son. We'll see what their thoughts are. What a play by sophomore Bodie Wolford in right field.
The pitch was outside to Nuzum.
Good catch. And to be there on the base was Ryan Simetz.
Pitch was a little bit high, straight but high. 2 balls and no strikes. So Wine has fallen behind each of the 3 first batters here. Maybe a little bit of butterflies perhaps, or maybe just getting used to the mound. 2-0 pitch. Looked like that was right down the heart of the plate, and it's taken for a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Easton Nuzum.
The home plate umpire agreed with you, Pistol.
Okay. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Runners going. Ernst throws down to second. Get tagged down. Is he out?
He's out, yes. What a play.
All right.
One reason you don't run on us, Noah Ernst. There's nobody better we've seen all year long fielding his position at the catcher position. He was quick up and made the throw. And what are they changed? The umpire called him out.
Well, wait a minute. Was that ball 3? No?
That was ball 4.
Oh, my. Okay, well, that makes a difference.
That does make it, wow, and the tag was put on him. He was going to be out. They were stealing on the play, but they called it ball 4, and that allows the runner to be safe after a beautiful throw and a tag.
Here's Dawson Kennedy, the first baseman. I don't know how all that happened. Everybody was mixed up because everybody else thought it was, a caught stealing down there at second base on a pretty close play.
Absolutely. The umpire waited forever to make sure the tag was there, that we held on to it.
Pitch to Dawson Kennedy is in there for strike 1.
Good
Tell you what,
there.
it looked like to me the ball got there and the tag got down, but it was a delayed call out there. We weren't sure.
I think he just wanted to make sure they held on to the ball.
Right.
And
he did.
He did. Everything was right. But now they have 2 on and just 1 out.
Noah Ernst sends a signal, though, that, steal at your own risk.
Yes, he does.
The count to Kennedy is no balls and 1 strike. The cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs have 2 mates aboard here in the top half of the first inning. Pitch to Kennedy is fouled. It's hit to the first baseman. Gavin Jones is going to take it unassisted. Everybody is going to move up 1 base, but that is the second out. Kind of a cue ball down to the first baseman. Jones fields it cleanly. Newsom goes to second. Landon Baker goes to third. And the Bulldogs have runners in scoring position, third and second, but now there are 2 outs.
Finally got 2 outs, even though 2 in the scoring position at second and third. 5th hitter in the lineup is Sharp for Athens. So let's see if Ramey can get out of this first inning.
Swing and a miss as Wyatt throws the fastball by him. David Sharp is the Athens catcher. So Athens with a golden opportunity here Jackson, though, with the opportunity to get out of it unscathed if they can retire this batter. 0-1 pitch, that's a fastball that stays high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It feels like the outfield is really playing in, but I think that's because the outfield is so big. They look farther in than they normally are. There's a lot of space over their head.
Wyatt steps off, and now Noah Ernst is going to go out and have a word with him. Ernst looks like he's giving him some encouragement out there, pats him on the back twice.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position here. We are in the top of the first inning in a district semifinal baseball game. Foes for many, many years, the Jackson Ironmen and the Athens Bulldogs.
All SCOL rivals for many years and now playing here in the district tournament. The pitch is foul, way out of play to the fans sitting over there in the grass.
I think the famous term grassy knolls, both in right field and left field, where fans love to sit, take in the sun, still have a very good view of the baseball game.
Count to sharp, I believe, is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ooh. And the slow curveball stays up high. Ball 2, tried to get the curveball by him, only it didn't break.
Really took the speed off that one nicely, too.
Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wyatt looks in. Key point early in this district semifinal game. 2-2 pitch coming to the plate. And that is fouled out of play behind us. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Thrown to him. The train of thought could be, if this was a batter you truly feared, first base is open. You don't want to groove one to their 5th hitter in the lineup.
Wyatt takes a long look, looks over at the runner at third. Here is your 2-2 pitch. Curveball, stays high and inside, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like Wyatt's maybe trying to use the curveball for an out pitch. He's missed with it, though, a couple times here in the count, now full to David Sharp. Here's your 3-2 pitch. Just inside, ball 4. And the bases are now loaded. That is 3 walks now by Wyatt in this inning, uncharacteristic.
Still have an opportunity, though. There are 2 outs. Out at every base with them loaded like this.
Brady Wharton, the left fielder, comes up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Pitch them. Wyatt, swing and a miss on a fastball right in there. Strike 1.
I'm eavesdropping on the Athens broadcast, and they said Brady Wharton has been the hottest bat for the Bulldogs as of late. Well, he has an opportunity here with the bases loaded. Ramey gets ahead of the count.
He sure does. 0-1 pitch to Wharton. Did he go? He
First
did.
baseman
Strike
says
2
yes.
call. I thought it was close.
Yep.
They checked with the first base umpire, and he raised that fist for strike 2. So Wharton in an 0-2 hole here. Wyatt up 0-2. Oh-2 pitch coming now from Wyatt. That pitch is high, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wyatt trying to change speeds again there. The slow step missed the strikes, has been missing the strike zone, usually a little high. The 1-2 pitch now to Brady Wharton. Here it is. Ooh. Just inside. That was close. A
that
fastball.
One was close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Wyatt's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, trying to get out of it, even though he has walked 3. Wyatt into the stretch. Quick throw over to first. Oh, and it gets by the first baseman, and Athens is going to be able to score a run, and everybody is going to advance 1 base.
Don't know if the slide in might have got in the road of Gavin there. Couldn't hit it, hits off his glove, rolls over to the dugout, and allows everybody to advance 1 base. So it is 1-0.
Well, that will go down. We'll call it an E3 there. Throw was a little high, but catchable.
It appeared that way. The slide was right back in there with the throw and the glove.
It would have been a close play over there, by the way.
A very good opportunity to maybe get the tag in the out.
Here's the pitch to Brady Wharton. A little bit high. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, once again, as we said before, if Orton is our highest hitter, first base is open. It's not the end of the world to load him up.
3-2 pitch coming to Wharton. Called
Yes.
strike 3 on the inside corner. Boy, that was a big one right there.
Yes, it was.
Athens does get on the scoreboard, 1 run. We'll say there's no hits. There was 1 Jackson error. There was 2 men left on base. At the end of the first half inning of play, it's the Athens Bulldogs 1. The Jackson Ironmen coming to bat. This is a district semifinal baseball game between the Jackson Ironmen and the Athens Bulldogs. You're listening on 1330 Fox Sports and 105.3 FM.
How do you hothead? Build your own burrito or bowl, or pick a craft recipe from Leroy's lineup. At Hothead Burritos, we have bold burrito and bowl combinations, like the Hawaiian with fresh pineapple, seasoned chicken, and sweet habanero sauce. The jalapeno ranch, loaded with tender, meaty steak. And Leroy's spicy chicken, featuring our famous hothead sauce. Burrito or bowl, our craft menu features even more of what you love. More choices, more flavor. It's all yours at Hothead Burritos.
Our work says it all. For the best in repair. See the people who care. We make it easy to do, cause we care about you. Go with Monroe, we'll get you on the road. We make it oh so easy. Monroe's frame and collision. Our work says it all.
Okay, we go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Ironmen get their first turn to bat, and they will be going against Noah Sincott. He is the young man who pitched a complete game victory just last Wednesday in the Athens Bulldogs sectional tournament championship game. That score was 7-1. Sincott went the whole way, gave up only 5 hits. He struck out 14 and walked 3.
14 strikeouts. I remember that number. That is the same number that Gavin Jones got in his sectional championship performance just last week.
Right, we have to believe he is their number 1.
Pete,
we don't know
discussion. Ramey Wyatt finds himself down 1-0 in a game, but I think his no-hitter is still intact.
That's right. There was the second hitter, Baker, hit a line drive, what we said was a single in front of Wolford. It landed in front of him, but then he made a great play. We'll say that again. To force out the runner at second, he hustled. I don't think the runner at second the runner going to second thought that Wolford would even attempt to throw. But because he was forced out, it's just like a ground out force out. And so Baker gets robbed of a single and instead gets on a fielder's choice. At least that's the way we see it.
That's the way we see it. Coach McGraw could correct us at any given time, but that's okay. Hey, Boston Campbell leads it off for the Ironmen, all FAC first team and all district second team. And what a senior year the young man's had.
He is the Ironmen's second baseman and has been in that leadoff spot all season long. Sincott pitches a fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1. The Jackson lineup, Boston Campbell leading off, Ryan Simets at shortstop batting second, Nolan Johnson in left field hitting third, Gavin Jones is the cleanup hitter at first base, Noah Ernst is the catcher batting fifth, and Xander Irvin, the designated hitter, hitting sixth. The 0-1 pitch to Campbell is a little bit low, ball 1. Hitting in the 7th spot is Ramey Wyatt, he's the pitcher. Cade Wolford in center field is batting 8th, Bodie Wolford, the right fielder, who we've talked about already, batting 9th. The 1-1 pitch to Boston Campbell, a fastball. Foul back, strike 2. So far, 3 pitches, 3 fastballs to Mr. Sincott.
With a little force behind him.
Right.
Good-looking pitcher early on here after 3 pitches.
Dealing early. Sincott gets ready. A little bit hitch in the windup. The 1-2 pitch. It's hit in the air. The center fielder's coming in. No, the shortstop's going to handle that. Right on the lip of the grass out there. Hit way in the air, just to the shortstop, a little bit over his head, but he's easily able to get under for the first out. Ryan Simets, the shortstop, comes up.
Sophomore shortstop, newly announced this, I think just today, first team all district. Great honor for the young man.
Fastball's in there for strike 1.
Talk about a 3-sport star this year as a sophomore. He was all Frontier Frontier Athletic Conference first team in football. He was the starting point guard for the Ironmen in basketball, and now all district in baseball.
There's a line drive
shot.
to right field. Right fielder going back, and he's got it.
Boy,
tell you
Ryan
what,
hit that hard.
He hit that hard, and look where the right fielder was playing. He has definitely shifted around towards center field, or, you're looking at probably a double there.
The left fielder, number 5, Nolan Johnson.
He did time that one nicely. Ryan has showed good power to the opposite field throughout the year.
Here is Nolan Johnson, the left fielder. So 2 up and 2 down here in the Ironmen's bottom half of the first. Bulldogs leading early in this one, 1-0. Pitch to Nolan Johnson is a little bit low for ball 1.
Athens treating Nolan like a pull hitter. Shortstop over just a little bit. He's deep, and then the outfield backed up a little bit. Center fielder shaded well over toward left center.
That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
As you said, Pete, these teams know each other, played during the regular season. Ironman got a win in that one, but that does give each team a pretty good scouting report.
That fastball is a little bit high, I think. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nolan, limited duty a little bit the last 2 or 3 games because of a tweak in the hamstring, but he's certainly well enough to play. Actually appeared in all the games. 2-1 pitch to Nolan. Started to swing, but it didn't matter. I think that fastball was in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Ironmen will have to time up Mr. Sincott because he throws pretty hard. The 2-2 pitch to Johnson, and that's a ground ball. Is it going to get by? It gets by the second baseman into right field, and so Nolan Johnson, a hard ground ball, is going to be the Ironmen's first hit and actually the first hit of the game.
Nicely hit. Hit hard there because they shaded Nolan a little bit to pull, so that one found the gap between the first baseman and second baseman out to right field.
And
now
this will
maybe take a look and see how Nolan is feeling running wise to see if the Ironmen might try to advance him here.
All right, we'll see if, the tweak in the hamstring and where it is. It looks like he's getting a pretty good lead over there.
Certainly know that Nolan has the speed.
The batter is Gavin Jones, the first baseman, and he takes a strike in there. Another fastball, no balls and 1 strike.
Newly named first team all-district, was the FAC player of the year. A lot of accolades for Gavin Jones, only a junior.
Sincott throws the 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch, and that's a little bit inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A 2-out ground ball single by Nolan Johnson. Gavin Jones up at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Once again shading a little bit toward left field for Gavin as a pull hitter.
That fastball is high and away for ball 2. Gavin Jones, of course, what a decorated season for him. The Frontier Athletic Conference Player of the Game, all district and all FAC and all anything, I think, if they pick an all-star team. Long look in by Sincott. There's the 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Took a little off that one. It curved right in there.
Sincott looks in. Here is your 2-2 pitch. And there's a line drive. It's going to fall in there. It's going to go by the center fielder. It's going to go almost all the way to the wall. Nolan Johnson is running. He's going to score without a throw. And Gavin Jones with an RBI double, and we are knotted 1-1 in the bottom half of the first inning.
They had Gavin played right. He just hit it so hard between the center fielder and left field. It goes all the way to left center field fence, and the Ironmen tie the score at 1-1. Was a pretty hit by Gavin.
Right, and I tell you, we see those numbers on the score on the fence. 405 center, 380 to the gap in left center, and that went almost all the way to the fence, to the base of the fence. So that's about 390 feet, not in the air, but close. Here is Noah Ernst, the catcher.
That would have rolled up right to our vehicle in the parking lot, Pete, if the fence wasn't there.
And Ernst takes a strike. 0-1. So Jones out there at second with a big RBI double to square the score at 1-1. couple hits here for the Ironmen after Sincott had retired the first two.
Another first-team All-District player up there in Noah.
And Ernst hits a deep fly to center field. Center fielder coming in, and he's got it. I thought that was going to go farther than it did, but Ernst the center fielder gets it in mid-level center field. Went a little bit too left to get it. In the inning for the Ironmen, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base.
So after 1 inning, Pete Wilson with a coughing spell. So we'll do this. After 1 inning, it is your Jackson Ironmen 1, the Athens Bulldogs 1. We'll be back in just 1 moment.
Start and end your day with McDonald's of Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur. Start your day off with a McGriddle. For lunch, how about a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese? And dinner, enjoy some McNuggets or maybe a great shake and fries. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you're always cooking up something great from your Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur McDonald's. And I'm loving it. And you will too.
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over our low rock bottom prices. One of America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built to manufactured homes in southern Ohio with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, Teddy Bear.
Hurry down to Stillhouse Rock.
For those concerned, Pete Wilson has survived a coughing attack, and he is back with us, Pete.
Right.
Interesting first inning to play, obviously.
It was. Sincott was really dealing with that fastball. Looked like he was going to be tough to hit, although the Ironmen did put the bat on the ball, every batter. But then a good, hard ground ball single by Johnson, and then that shot by Gavin Jones all the way in the left center field gap, and it's 1-1. So Ramey Wyatt, some control problems in the first inning. 3 walks definitely, of course, played a role in the Athens run, which actually scored on an error. And the first pitch to the number 7 hitter, Sam Trainer, is inside for ball 1.
You know, when you're as solid of a player and pitcher as Ramey has been all year long, sometimes just getting through that first inning, which he did, can really get him in a roll here. Let's see if he's a little stronger here in the second.
That pitch is a little bit low, ball 2.
Difference has been control for Ramey. He had 3 walks in that first inning, but a big called strike with the bases loaded to finish that first.
Tried to take something off that. It was high and inside, ball 3. .30 pitch to Trainer. And he took a fastball across the letters for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You don't mind temperatures being up there a little bit. What a beautiful night for baseball.
That is low and inside, ball 4. That is the first walk of the inning to the leadoff hitter. Walk number 4 by Ramey Wyatt. And now Coach McGraw is going to come out.
And I think we're going to make a change. He is going to go with Tucker Williams, who is following Coach McGraw out to pitcher's mound. He gives Ramey a pat. Ramey does a nice job there, he takes his hat off and gives Tucker kind of a go get him type situation there. So,
well, we knew coming into this game that, it was probably going to be Ramey Wyatt or maybe Tucker Williams or a combination.
Right.
They're both rested.
Ramey threw the ball hard. He just couldn't quite find the plate tonight. And it's just when it's lose and go home situation. Coach McGraw just said you couldn't go too much longer, and we'll see Tucker in there.
We didn't see, but we are guessing that Tucker was warming up there in that first inning.
Which we can't see into the bullpens on either side, so it is a little bit hard, but Tucker had to have been down there warming up and ready to go.
Well, Tucker, not a position player in this game, so, he could have been down there working up, loosening up from the very beginning, just in case. So Coach McGraw makes an important early decision. He pulls the starter, Ramey Wyatt, who was having some control problems, uncharacteristic, we might add, walked 4 of the 7 batters he faced. Even with that, Athens was only able to score 1 run, and that was because of an error.
Tucker getting a lot of warm-up pitches in. Remember, Athens has the leadoff hitter here in the second inning on first base. He was the fourth walk of the game so far for the Bulldogs. Score is tied 1-1 after one inning.
And Ryan Cornwell, the right fielder, will bat. He was the young man who was the losing pitcher against Jackson when Jackson played at Athens back on April the 26th. Actually pitched a very good game until Jackson broke through in the 5th and 6th innings. So Williams facing the number 8 hitter here is the first man he will face, and there's a runner on base that he's not responsible for, and he squares the bunt and takes strike one.
Boy, Easton McGraw coming hard from third base. He wasn't very far from him had he laid the bunt down.
And he's staying right there. He's way up there at third base.
Convinced they're going to bunt again.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Called strike two. Nice off-speed pitch.
You are right. Now Easton can step back in a little safer zone. Boy, it had been tough if you turn and pull one as close as he was.
I always think about the 76 series and Pete Rose playing third base when Mickey Rivers was batting.
Yeah.
Third baseman right down his throat. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on an off-speed pitch that I think might have been a little high. But it's a strikeout, and 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out for Mr. Tucker Williams.
The pitcher, number 9, Noah Sinkoff.
Noah Sinkoff stands in there. He bats left-handed, but pitches right-handed.
Easton once again is really in tight at third base.
And Sinkoff squares as if to bunt, but then pulls the bat back, and it is called ball 1. Williams looks over his shoulder at the runner. That's Trainer at first. He had that leadoff walk. The pitch. And there's a ground ball foul by the third base umpire down there. That could have been trouble if it was about 6 feet to the left, as McGraw was playing in.
He was way inside. Now he steps back now to almost the infield dirt, but still a few feet in on the turf instead of grass. It is turf in the infield.
Pitch to Sinkoff is high for ball 2.
Trainer leading off first base, and boy, Noah Ernst gave it a look down there, considered throwing down behind him.
Count is 2-2 to Noah Sinkoff, the number 9 hitter in the Bulldog lineup. Swing and a miss.
2-2 the count. 1 out, 1 on first. See if Tucker can get 2 in a row. Early relief here in the second inning.
2-2 pitch. And another ball hit he's laid on and hits towards the Jackson dugout. Pretty hard, but way foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1-1 ball game, top half of inning number 2. Bulldogs have a runner on, there's 1 out. Ironmen have already changed pitchers. Tucker Williams in for Ramey Wyatt. That off-speed pitch is high for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tucker looks in, looks over at the runner, ready to pitch. And there's a line drive into left field. Nolan Johnson takes it on 1 hop. The runner, Trainer, will stop at second base, and that is Athens' first hit of the game. But now they have 2 men on and 1 out, and we go back to the top of the order. Justin Bennett walked and then was thrown out at second base on what would have been a single to right field, but Bodie Wolford made that alert play by throwing and getting him on what turned out to be a force out at second.
Certainly been our defensive play of the game so far.
Bulldogs, though, have 2 on again as they threaten here in the second in this tie game. In there for strike 1 from Tucker Williams. Williams looks in. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Curveball stays high, ball 1. So far, fastball's been strikes. Curveball's not so much. 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's a ground ball Simons has it on the short hop. One out at second, over to
Got
first.
a chance.
Not in time over there. Ironman made a good chance at a double play there. Simons shoveled it to Campbell. And then on to first, not quite in time to get the runner down there.
We've seen the 6-4-3 multiple times this year, which is Simons to Boston over to first base Gavin Jones. That one just about a half step short, but they got the one out. There are now 2 outs, runners on the corners.
And here is Landon Baker, who hit that line drive over the second baseman's head in front of Bodie Wolford, but then Bodie threw out the lead runner at second base. That is a big play in this game, Dan.
Yes, it is.
As the score is tied 1-1, it would have been worse otherwise. Who knows what would have happened if there was one, if the Ironmen had to get another out. Pitch is a little bit high, ball 1. Simons made that play at the shortstop, Dan, fairly routine, but he is so smooth out there.
Yes, he is. Well, there's a reason he's named first team all-district.
1-0 pitch to Baker, swing, and they got a little bit of a piece of it.
Foul tip, but caught by Noah.
1 ball and 1 strike. Bulldogs trying to retake the lead if they can get something going here. 2 outs, 2 on. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, fooled him, strike 2. Swing and a miss.
Took a little speed off that one. Obviously, Baker was a little ahead of it.
One ball and 2 strikes. 2 runners on, third and first, 2 outs. Pitch to Baker. Close, and they are going to let the runner go through. Ernst did not throw down, and so a stolen base there for Bennett. The Ironmen think better of throwing down there. You know, somehow there was an error down there. The ball got through, a run's going to score, or maybe, you know, he might have a chance to score anyway if he does catch it down there. So the Ironmen concede the base on the steal. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Williams gets a big strikeout there to end the second inning. In the inning for the Bulldogs. No runs. 1 base hit. 2 men left on base. No Jackson errors in the middle of the second. It's still the Jackson Ironmen 1, the Athens Bulldogs 1. This is Jackson Ironmen baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Sir, we're receiving an urgent message from Honda Suzuki of Jackson.
Stand by. It's the Polaris liquidation sale. Everything must go. For a limited time only. Hurry into Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson now for the best selection. Check out the full inventory at HondaofJackson.com or call 740-286-4956. Yes, we have it on radar. Look at that big red roof. Do not wait. Immediate financing available. The Polaris liquidation sale happening now. Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson.
We go to the bottom half of the second inning in a 1-1 ball game. For the Ironmen here in the second, it will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. That's Xander Irvin, Ramey Wyatt, and Cade Wolford. In the first inning, the Ironmen were able to play to run on a couple of hits. The big hit was a gapper, a RBI double by Gavin Jones that brought Nolan Johnson home. All that happened with 2 outs.
Pete, we have watched a lot of baseball in just an inning and a half. My gosh, it's a 1-1 game, but there has been a lot of excitement, a lot of tension, basically, so far from the very start of this game.
Well, you know, Dan, it doesn't matter whether it's football, basketball, baseball, tiddlywinks. Tournament just adds another element of suspense and excitement.
It sure does.
And here is Xander Irvin, the designated hitter, leading off against Noah Sinkoff as he starts his second inning of work. And there's a little tigger. They say it hit foul in the batter's box, so it's strike 1.
It's a break for Xander. He gets new life because that bounced slowly out to the mound. I think he'd had a hard time beating that out. Xander coming off named special mention all-district. Nice honor for the senior.
Xander waves that bat. Sinkoff has had good control so far in this game. And that is a deep
Boy,
fly to
hit
left
hard.
field. Left fielder going back, and he's got it. Man, Xander Irvin gave that a ride. That looks like, what, 365 feet in the air maybe, Dan?
I think that's against the wall at our field. Xander really turned nicely on that one. The left fielder did a good job of running, chasing it down, getting his glove up and making the play.
Yeah, the left fielder was...
I thought for a minute it was over his head.
No, he was playing deep and had to go back, and then, of course, had to catch the ball in the sun. Remember, we have no clouds at all, and he made the play, so give him credit. And Tucker Williams is also is going to come in and bat now in Ramey Wyant's spot. So a straight change. Tucker Williams is inserted into the number 7 place in the batting order. So, Dan, the last 4 Ironmen have hit the ball pretty well.
They have hit it well.
Against the fastballer, Sinkoff. Count to Tucker is no balls and 1 strike. That pitch is over the inside corner for strike 2.
Spacious field here at Bob Wren Stadium. But not too big for Gavin Jones, who had the double that went all the way to the left center field fence to tie this score up at 1-1.
Pitch to Tucker Williams. Swing and a miss, gets away from the catcher. Catcher throws down to first base, and he throws it over the first baseman's head.
It's going deep out into
Tucker
right
is going
field.
to go to second. I think he's going to go to third.
Easily.
And he is easily going to go to third. Rounds the base there. I tell you what, Dan, that was over the first baseman's head. Not a whole lot, but it's got to be an E1. What do you say?
Oh, no question about it. The throw was high, goes all the way out deep into right field. Tucker just takes off running, knowing you got a chance to beat it out on a strikeout situation when the catcher doesn't catch it. He just kept running. He ends up at third base.
Right, that's a situation where Tucker can run, and there's a lot of territory in the foul territory, at least down the right field line. So Tucker Williams on at third after striking out. How do you like that? Here is Cade Wooford, and he takes a strike in there. Let's see how Noah Sinkoff responds. It was his error that allowed Williams to get on and go all the way around to third on the air. And Cade Wooford fouls it out of play for strike 2. And so Sinkoff jumps ahead of Cade Wooford. No balls and 2 strikes.
Cade, one of the Ironmen freshly named to that all-district team. Special mention all-district for the senior center fielder.
Williams with good wheels down there at third base. Sinkoff ahead of Cade Wooford, 0-2. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Right fielder comes over to cut it off, and Cade Wooford with an RBI single, and it puts the Ironmen ahead 2-1 here in the second inning.
Jackson crowd, good contingent here cheering Cade on. Boy, Cade, remember Cade got us going in that 7-run inning to win a sectional championship against River Valley. Does it again on this one with a strong hit right over the second baseman's head into right center field.
On
drives in
0-2.
the run. Yes.
Nice clutch hitting. Here's Bodie Wooford, the right fielder now. Ironmen still with only 1 out, 1 run in. They have retaken the lead, or not retaken the lead, they have taken the lead for the first time, 2-1. That pitch to Bodie is in there for strike 1. Sinkoff is throwing strikes. He's always getting ahead of the Ironman batters.
Cade usually likes to take a look at one pitch. Let's see if Coach McGraw has Cade ready to steal or not.
Sinkoff taking the long look. There goes Wooford, and Bodie fouls for strike 2 towards the Athens dugout.
Boy, Cade had a great jump also. I think it was a for sure stolen base, but remember, it was Cade Wooford, or it was Bodie Wooford that had the double to drive in that run. You know, that was our first run in a 7-run inning. That's all Gavin Jones needed in the sectional championship.
Tucker looked pretty good in the second. We'll see how he does here as this game goes on. Now his game. The pitch to Bodie Wooford. Swing and a miss, a pitch that might have been a little low and inside, and he didn't connect. And so a big strike out there through Noah Sinkoff for out number 2. We go back to the top of the order in Boston Campbell. He hit a pop-up to the shortstop, went into shallow left field to get it. So let's see with 2 outs if they try to get Cade to second base on the stolen base. Wouldn't be surprised if he does. Pitch to Boston Campbell is a little bit outside for ball one. Got that open stance. Right foot closer to the plate than the left. One-0 pitch coming to Campbell. Wolford is going. There's the throw down to second base, and safely in there is Cade Wolford. It bounces away, but the center fielder is backing it up, so Cade will be satisfied to stay at second.
Boy, the center fielder didn't pick it up clean. Cade looked at it. If he did just, I think if he could have kept going, they'd had a hard time throwing him out. But Cade's speed, you just don't see Cade get thrown out on the bases.
It's not a bad throw by the catcher.
No.
It was on line, but did get by the shortstop, I believe it was, trying to
he gets there
catch it and get the tag. Yep. So Campbell now got Wolford out at second base, and that pitch is outside.
Boston ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Cade on second, 1 run in for the Ironmen. They have the 2-1 lead here. Bottom of the second inning.
Cade trying to, or rather Boston trying to get a 2-out RBI here. And there's a line drive into center field. Center fielder is not going to get it. Cade Wolford with 2 outs was running on the play. Here comes the throw to the plate. They're not going to get him. Boston goes down to second and is in there safely.
Beautiful job there, hitting by Boston. Lays it in there right in front of the center fielder. Cade on the run. You're not going to throw him out at home plate. And then Boston, good base running too. Advanced to second. They threw down there, but Boston was there on the slide.
Right, the center fielder didn't make a bad attempt to try to get Cade, but they weren't going to catch him there. And as you say, an alert play by Boston Campbell to take second on the throw home. They did have a play on him, but he slid in safely. The Ironmen now lead 3-1, and Boston Campbell does deliver that 2-out RBI. Ryan Steinmetz hits one to the third baseman.
Oh, it's going to be,
and he's not going to be able to make any throw. He made a nice backhanded stab that probably saved a run, Dan Morrow, but he was on his knees and no way he was going to get up and throw Steinmetz out at first base. Cade wisely stays at second.
Well, wisely, Boston stays at second to make sure it didn't get. Yeah, Boston stays at second. Make sure if it gets by the third baseman, whether he scores or not, I don't know, but a nice job there of got now 2 on, 2 outs. Keeping this inning alive.
Here's Nolan Johnson. He got it all started with a ground ball single back in the first, came around to score. Pitch to Nolan is a little bit low, ball 1.
Ironmen have hit the ball nicely in this game. A couple hard hit putouts even where they've, hit it at outfielders. And a 3-hit inning here for Jackson. 2 runs in, 2 on.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Nolan Johnson. A little bit outside. Ball 2 didn't miss by much. Sinkoff out there getting a little frustrated, I think. Steps off the mound, turns around, comes back on the mound. Count to Johnson is 2-0. 2 runners are on base. Campbell at second, Steinmetz at first. 2-0 pitch to Nolan Johnson. Good swing, but he fouls it back to the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Timed it nicely. All 3 hits for the Ironmen. Solid singles into the outfield.
I tell you what, if Nolan Johnson can hit it down the right field line, he might run forever. Definitely pulled around towards left for Johnson. The right fielder especially is in right center. Left fielder very deep. 2-1 pitch to Johnson. And he once again gets another good swing and fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sincott trying to get out of trouble right here. He has already been hit up for 2 runs in this inning, has given the Ironmen a 3-1 lead here in the early going.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. A lot of 2s.
Two pitch to Johnson. And they called strike 3. Big strike out there as Johnson took strike 3 looking. In the inning, though, for the Ironmen, they get 2 runs. There was 2 base hits, there was one big Athens error, and there was 2 runners left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, it's now the Jackson Ironmen 3, the Athens Bulldogs 1. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
Financial advisor Chad Niddle of Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Cincinnati Reds baseball on 97 Country the Bull WCJO.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. I believe feeling rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about living life on your terms with financial strategies that help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact me today at 740-286-4872 and let's find your rich.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
We go to the top half of the 3rd inning. The Ironmen with 2 runs in the bottom half of the 2nd to stake themselves now to a 3-1 lead. Here in the 3rd, Tucker Williams in his 2nd inning of work. He got out of the 2nd. He came on in relief of Ramey Wyant and was able to get out of a situation where there was 2 runners on base with no runs scoring. He will face the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Bulldog lineup.
You just heard Chad Niddle for Edward Jones on a commercial. How about our sponsors, Ramey Homes and Auto Group, Monroe Collision, Jackson County Banking Center, McDonald's of Jackson, Osborne Equipment Service, Honda, Suzuki, Polaris, Can-Am of Jackson, Dan Daly, State Farm Insurance, Brian Moore Construction. Let's see if I can get them all in. Southern Ohio Smiles, Edward Jones, Jackson County Health Department, their search program, and Hothead Burritos.
Easton Newsom leads off, and he walked the 1st inning, and he takes called strike 1 from Tucker Williams.
Please support our sponsors. They make all this possible.
Couldn't do it without them, and that's the truth. And there's a off-speed pitch hit to on a lazy bounce to Gavin Jones, and he takes it unassisted for out number 1. Came off the bat pretty good, but actually was not hit very hard at all, and Gavin makes the out easily, unassisted.
Boy, Pete Wilson, how important is fielding in big games like this? Remember, it was the strikeout, the wild throw down to first base that allowed Tucker Williams to get all the way to 3rd base, and that opened the door for a big inning for the Ironmen.
It did. It certainly did. Ironmen had 3 hits, but boy, that was a big play right there, that error by the pitcher.
3 of the next 4 batters get singles. We have 2 runs, so we have a 3-1 lead.
Dawson Kennedy, the cleanup hitter, he was retired on a bouncer to the first baseman, was retired unassisted there by Gavin Jones, which he just did to Newsom. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch, strike, looked pretty good, and the umpire agrees, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kennedy steps out, steps back in. 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch is hit in the air. The first baseman, Gavin Jones, is going to have a play, and he's got it for the 2nd out.
Had the shades on, so he was able to fight off the sun, make that catch in foul territory, but a big 2nd out for the Ironmen.
Dan, I tell you what, they always said this in the old Riverfront Stadium where the sun was. Well, right now, the pitcher is in the sun, but the batter is in the shade.
Sure.
They always thought that worked against the batter. I don't know. Didn't work against the Ironmen last inning. Here is David Sharp, the catcher. And he takes a fastball in there for strike 1. He also walked in that 1st inning where there was 3 walks, which had a whole lot to do with Athens scoring its only run of the game so far, although it scored on an error.
Shadows from left field are
just going
to get bigger as the night goes on. We might be playing under the lights before it's all over. Looks like almost a near full moon out there, Pete Wilson.
Yep. I believe we're due for one, actually. So Tucker Williams ahead of Sharp, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. What an inning for Tucker Williams, and he's excited over there. Did a little pirouette after that.
He should be.
In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're in the middle of the third inning. It's the Jackson Ironmen 3, the Athens Bulldogs 1. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Osborne Equipment Service.
Is Ralph there?
You sure you've got the right number?
Is he there?
Well, what's he look like?
He's got white hair and spots.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
Why would he be here at Osborne Equipment Service?
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs, and we're family owned and operated. Maybe you should look in your backyard for Ralph.
I'll just call his cell phone.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
And here's the Mona Lisa, painted between 1500 and 1503 by Leonardo da Vinci. This is quite possibly the most recognized painting in the world.
Whatever you do, Cliff, stay away from that painting.
Don't worry about it. I have everything under control. Oops.
Some things are easier to fix than others. Thank goodness your car is one of them. If you ever find yourself in an accident, give the professionals at Monroe's Frame and Collision a call and let them get you back on the road in no time.
In Jackson, call 288-1313.
All right, we're back here in the bottom half of the third. The Ironmen leading 3-1, and the PA announcer, or whoever's in charge of music, playing Creedence Clearwater Revival's
I was just going to say
Bad
Pete
Moon
Wilson.
Rising, and we've got one.
Yeah, well, and it's a beautiful night for baseball, a beautiful stadium here, and great song selection. They've already played 2 Springsteens, so I'm pretty happy with that situation.
Well, Creedence Clearwater Revival's all right, too.
They're not bad.
All right. Gavin Jones will come up, and he's steamboating all right. He had a double to drive in the Ironmen's first run.
Boy, Gavin turned on that one. It was a rocket past the center fielder, who was shading a little bit toward left field on him, but he hit it so hard it got in the gap there, goes all the way to the fence, and drives in the first run for the Ironmen.
Number 11, Gavin Jones.
So Sincott gave up 3 hits, gave up 2 hits in the first inning, so let's see if he can bounce back here and keep this game close for the Bulldogs. First pitch to Gavin Jones is a curveball that stays inside for ball 1.
1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second has allowed the Ironmen to have a 3-1 lead here, bottom of the third inning.
Sincott, that little hitch in his delivery, pitches, and that's a fastball in there for strike 1. Always notice this about Gavin Jones, great eye up there. Great on-base percentage, great average and power, but he's selective at the plate. He looks for a pitch that he can drill.
Pretty good baseball player overall. The
1-1
awards have said that.
1-1 pitch, and that is a hard bouncer but foul down the third baseline. Third baseman was kind of over towards the line anyway.
You know, we said, Pete Wilson, we had the 3 hard hit singles by Sinkoff in that last inning. We kind of forget Xander Irvin. He had the ball. He's hit the ball the hardest of anyone tonight toward left field.
And that was an out.
That was an out, but it was really well hit in that inning.
So here's the 1-2 pitch to Gavin Jones. Just missed ball 2, and Sinkoff definitely wanted that one.
Yeah, and that's that good eye you just mentioned about Gavin. Shortstop really shaded over toward third base. Big gap there, right up the middle.
Two-two pitch coming, low and inside, ball 3.
Gavin making him throw a strike.
Ironmen with 3 runs and 5 hits so far. I think I said in the wrap-up to the second inning, the Ironmen had 2 hits in that second inning. It was actually 3, so I stand corrected. 3-2 pitch coming to Gavin Jones. It's low, ball 4. And a good start to the third inning for the Ironmen. Gavin Jones on at first. Here is Noah Ernst. He hit a shallow fly ball that the center fielder was able to get back in the first inning. That ended the first inning, as a matter of fact.
First batter on, always a good thing. Let's see if Noah can get him going. Noah had a great play as a catcher on what was ball 4, but throwing a runner out at second base didn't turn out to be the out.
And there's a bunt. It gets by.
It's a good one.
Got it. Throws over to first. Got him. Nice play by him because he almost stepped by it, and that would have been an infield hit. But a hard bunt by Ernst does do the job. It's a sacrifice. He's out 1-3. Down to second goes Gavin Jones. So Coach Josh McGraw with a 2-run lead, playing for a 3-run lead right now. Xander Irvin, who hit that deep drive to left field that the left fielder was able to get, bats now with 1 out, but a runner in scoring position in the person of Gavin Jones. And there's a line drive, but foul.
You know, Xander is hitting the ball so much harder the second half of this season. Kind of almost, I don't want to call him a dead pole hitter, but boy, he hits a lot of ropes right over the third baseman's head. This one goes foul.
That was about 60 feet foul, but that was hit hard as well.
Yes, it was. Catcher's going to run out and talk to Sinkoff here for a moment. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, man on second base. That is Gavin Jones out there for the Ironmen.
Actually, Dan, in the first game when Jackson played Athens, and when Jackson won 7-1, Athens scored the first run in that game, and that was in the first inning. So the Ironmen have had to come from behind twice against the Bulldogs. Long way to go in this one, though, in a 3-1 game. Pitch to Xander Irvin. A little bit low, ball 1.
Boy, that looks like, from here, looks like a very good eye by Xander to let that one go by.
Right, must have been maybe just a little high, actually. 1-1 the count to Xander Irvin. Gavin Jones on at second, 1 out. He was bunted over there by Noah Ernst after a leadoff walk. And there is a ground ball into the Jackson dugout, speared by somebody. Nice play over there.
I think A.J. Graham grabbed that one in the air. Good fielding play by the senior.
Okay, well, he doesn't get his name in the scorebook, but his play duly noted here by the broadcast crew.
Xander, it's been well documented, will be playing for Rio Grande next year, advancing his baseball career.
Irvin waving the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Sinkoff. And that is another foul ball. Xander,
he's been out ahead of it, hadn't he?
He has been. The winner of this game will play the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions on Wednesday right here, this same place, 4 p.m. in a district tournament championship game. The 1-2 pitch again to Xander Irvin. And there is a chopper. It's foul again, and this time Josh McGraw. That's going to be away from him. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Irvin has fouled off 4 pitches now.
We know Coach McGraw has a hand-eye coordination, just not a little bit out of his range.
Yeah, that was.
Yes. One of the great fungo hitters I remember seeing. He really does a nice job in warm-ups.
That's a nice talent to have with his job.
Yep.
Irvin steps out now. Sinkoff steps off the mound.
1 ball, 2 strikes, but boy, Xander's made him throw a lot of pitches.
He has made him work. One-two pitch again. Called strike 3. So a long battle is finally won by the pitcher as Irvin takes a called 3rd strike for the 2nd out.
Well, here comes the young man that has done a great job in relief for the Ironmen pitching and a great job in getting that 2-run inning going. Tucker Williams at the plate.
One of the big plays of the game, a strikeout by Tucker Williams. They couldn't throw him out at first when the ball got away from the catcher. And Williams tries to bunt. It's up in the air, but too far for anybody to have a chance to get it. Interesting, 2 outs and a bunt. Obviously bunting for a hit there.
No question about it. Third baseman was back, well, a couple steps behind the bag. You've got the runner on second, so he can't cheat up too much. Tucker was going to take advantage of it. Just goes foul.
See if he's going to do it again here with 1 strike. 0-1 pitch. No, he's swinging away, and it's popped up. I believe there's going to be a play for somebody. The catcher coming back. Got it. Nice play by the catcher. So in the inning for the Ironmen, there was no runs, no hits, no Athens errors, and there was one runner left on base. At the end of 3 full innings of play, it's the Jackson Ironmen 3, the Athens Bulldogs 1. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Start and end your day with McDonald's of Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur. Start your day off with a McGriddle. For lunch, how about a Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese? And dinner, enjoy some McNuggets or maybe a great shake and fries. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you're always cooking up something great from your Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur McDonald's. And I'm loving it. And you will too.
How do you hothead? Build your own burrito or bowl, or pick a craft recipe from Leroy's lineup. At Hothead Burritos, we have bold burrito and bowl combinations, like the Hawaiian with fresh pineapple, seasoned chicken, and sweet habanero sauce. The Jalapeno Ranch, loaded with tender, meaty steak. And Leroy's Spicy Chicken, featuring our famous Hothead sauce. Burrito or bowl, our craft menu features even more of what you love. More choices, more flavor. It's all yours at Hothead Burritos.
You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 105.3 FM and AM 1330 WYPC Jackson.
And we go to the top half of the 4th inning here. The Ironmen leading 3-1. The Bulldogs drew first blood with a single run in the first inning, but the Ironmen answered with one of their own in the bottom of the first and then tacked on 2 in the second, and that's where we stand right now, 3-1 as we go into the 4th inning. The winner of this game, as we said, will play Washington Courthouse on Wednesday right here at 4 p.m. But there is another bracket in the Division II sectional. Those 4 teams will play tomorrow night. You've got New Lexington versus Waverly. That is the 2 seed against the 7 seed. That's the early game at 4 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, it'll be Sheridan, the 3 seed, versus Miami Trace, the 6th seed. So 3 Frontier Athletic Conference teams make the district semifinal.
And it's pretty going to be exciting doubleheader over here at Bob Renfield also. And then, boy, back Wednesday night. They don't get much break because they will be playing the second game of a doubleheader on Wednesday night here following the Ironmen or Athens, whoever will play in that first game.
And Brady Wharton will lead off. He took a called third strike with the bases loaded back in the first inning. That was a big out that Ramey Wyant did record there to keep Athens on its one spot. And there is a line drive into center field. The center fielder, Cade Wolford, is over, but a clean hit by Wharton. He spanked that one to center field. That's the first hit off Williams, and a good start to the 4th inning for the Bulldogs.
Well, how important was that getting him out, Wharton, in that first inning with the bases loaded? As we had heard, he is probably the hottest hitter going for the Athens Bulldogs, and he showed it right there with a line drive toward left center field.
Sam Trainer, who got on with a walk back in the first inning, that was actually the last batter that Ramey Wyant faced. It was his 4th walk, and that's when Coach Josh McGraw decided to go with Tucker Williams. So far, it's worked out very well. First pitch to Trainer was up high, ball 1. The second pitch is low and inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Getting a signal from the third base coach, who is the head coach, Todd Nussum, down there at third base.
That pitch looked good, and he took a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tucker throwing the ball well tonight. We've seen him have outstanding outings this year, but just looks solid so far.
Good zip on the ball. 2-1 pitch coming now. Swing and a miss, strike 2, but the fastball overpowered him. 2-2.
A little over 2 innings of work, has 3 strikeouts already. Could sure use another one.
Count squared at 2-2. Here's the pitch. And he swung at an off-speed pitch that looked to be inside, but protecting the plate, Trainer fouls it at the plate. Stays alive. 2-2. Williams looks in. Here's your 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3.
Beauty.
Looked like a good one to me, Dan. So the bat stays on the shoulder of Trainer, and it costs him for the first out of the inning. And here is Ryan Cornwell, the right fielder.
We didn't ask for too much. Another strikeout for Tucker, but we got it. His fourth of his outing.
Wharton stays at first base. Decent lead over there for him. Swing and a miss on another fastball, about shoulder high.
Little surprise, Cornwell the last time up attempted a bunt with a runner on first base. This time he's swinging away.
Easton McGraw at third base, pretty much at the regular position, maybe in about even with the bag. That curveball stays way high for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams casts a look over at first. Now he's ready to go. 1-1. That's swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams working rather quickly and effectively right now.
1 out, infield at normal depth.
1-2 pitch. Here it is. Ooh, boy, that was close.
That was close.
A little
Very
bit
close.
inside, I guess. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
1 out. Runner on first. 2-2 the count.
Here comes that 2-2 pitch. Curveball way high, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Tucker'd like to get this out with Sinkoff on deck. He had a hit in his first time up.
3-2 pitch.
Oh, he got
ground
a base
ball
hit.
into center field between the bag and the second baseman Campbell, and Cornwell has a 1-out hit, and the Bulldogs, they may have something cooking. 2 runners on base with 1 out.
It's the bottom of the order for Athens, making some noise here. And as we said, Sinkoff comes up. He had a solid hit in the first attempt up. So this is a big opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and Sinkoff had that single against Tucker. So he's seen him once already. Curveball stays high, ball 1.
Athens down by a score of 3-1 to our Ironmen, but they are knocking on the door here, top of the 4th inning.
Pitch coming. Squares to bunt and takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. McGraw, of course, can't cheat too far in because there's a runner at second.
You know, when we say
opens
top,
up the door for a bunt that direction.
Top of the 4th, we all watch Major League Baseball, but 7-inning baseball games really go fast.
And there's a ground ball just by a diving Campbell, and everybody is going to advance 1 base. Is he out over there?
Yes.
No, they got him at second base. Was that Cade Wofford out there?
No, that Bodie.
Was that Bodie again?
Bodie from right field with his second put out of the game. I'm a little surprised when Bodie throws to second that way that the runner maybe didn't attempt to score, because there was a catch, a tag. I mean, the umpire goes in there, finally has the delayed call once again as an out, but another huge play by our right fielder.
Well, you know, 2 alert plays. Bodie and, was it the Campbell or Simons? Simons. That was alert on both ends to have a chance there. You just don't think about that on a clean, what appears to be a clean hit into the outfield. And that pitch is a little bit low, ball 1 to Justin Bennett. And once again, the Bulldogs get thrown out on the base paths on what looked to be a single.
Those are hard hits to the right fielder that give Bodie the opportunity, but, you know, we know his arm. He is a quarterback, and boy, he has thrown 2 strikes to second base.
And that pitch is in there for strike 1 to Bennett.
And he threw a few passes to that Ryan Simets at football season too, didn't he?
He did. He
yes.
Connected again, I guess you could say. 1-1 pitch coming. And now time is called, and Noah Ernst is going to go out and have a word with Tucker Williams about something. Runners are on the corners. Brody Wharton at third, Noah Sinkoff at first, and once again, and we can't emphasize this once, we don't know what's going to happen. The Ironmen are not out of the inning, but what we thought we had was 1 out and the bases loaded, and we don't have that. We have 2 outs and 2 men on.
2 huge plays by a sophomore right fielder, Bodie Wofford. Not only is he a quarterback, he also pitches some too, and he has shown some arm strength.
And that is fouled to the screen over the head, over top of the Jackson dugout to strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left-hand hitting Justin Bennett. He has walked and reached on a fielder's choice. He was the one who hit the ball to right field the first time that appeared to be a hit, but then the lead runner got thrown out on the force out on the throw by Bodie Wolford to second. And there's a ground ball.
It's going to find a gap.
He is able to stop it, but that is not going, he's not going to be able to make any throw. He made a great play to keep the ball from getting into the outfield, but there's no play for him as far as throwing to any base. So in the score is Brady Wharton with Athens' second run, and that is a 2-out single for Justin Bennett to draw the Bulldogs within a run at 3-2. Over at second base now is Noah Sinkoff. At first base is Justin Bennett. So couple of hits here now for the Bulldogs. That pitch is a little bit high, ball one to Landon Baker. Jackson 3, Athens now 2 in the top of the fourth.
3 singles in this inning for the Bulldogs.
Pitch is low and Ernst blocks it. Great play. We've seen that before, and he did it again.
He's so quick
right,
back
a lot of room behind home plate. If the ball gets by you, your runners are probably going to always advance a base. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Baker. And there is a little Tigger that's going to go foul. Easton went over there to God. It would have been a really tough play to throw anybody out there, even though it wasn't hit hard, but he fields it in foul territory, so it's just nothing more than strike one.
2 out, 2 on. 2 balls, but just 1 strike. Tucker trying to pitch his way out of this inning and keep the Ironmen ahead.
And that pitch is fouled out of play for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on second and first, 2 men out. The Bulldogs have scored once to narrow the gap to 3-2. The count to the batter Baker, Landon Baker, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch coming. Way high, it gets over Ernst ahead, and both runners are going to advance. That was definitely a wild pitch.
Yeah, Noah couldn't even, barely got a glove grazing that one, so the runners advance. It's a full count. First base is open. 2 outs, runners on second and third now.
Well, any hit to the outfield here, instead of 3-3, it very well could be a 4-3 ball game, and the Bulldogs would take the lead. So big instance in the game here. Well, on this pitch, there's the 3-2 pitch, and that is popped up but foul out of play. I think the pitch might have been high, but he swung.
I think you're right, Pete Wilson, but he's trying to protect the plate there, fouls it back.
First base is now open, of course. Count is full. We're going to see the big 3-2 pitch once again. Here it comes. High, ball 4. So the bases are loaded now. Sinkoff stays at third, but Bennett's down there at second after his RBI single, and Baker becomes the 2-out base runner at first. And Easton Newsom is going to bat. He has walked and been retired on a bouncer to the first baseman. He bats to the left side. No place to put Mr. Newsom. Pitch is way high, ball 1.
Coach's son, so you know he's been around baseball forever.
And Coach Morgan Williams is going to go out and have a talk with his pitcher and his son.
Little father-son conversation going to take place on the mound. There are 2 outs. Bases are loaded. We certainly can't afford a walk, but it does make an out at every plate, every base. Ironmen trying to get out of this inning. Second time in this game that Athens has had the bases loaded. We got out on a called 3rd strike in that first inning.
Yeah,
They're now threatening here in the 4th again.
Athens has left 5 runners on base through 3 innings. And there's 3 of them out there right now. So the meeting is over. Assistant coach Morgan Williams back to the dugout. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Easton Newsom. One 1-0 pitch. Up high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Williams steps off the mound.
Grabs a rosin bag, just kind of gathers himself here a little bit. Big pitch coming.
2-0 pitch. Right down the heart of the plate for strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Went with the fastball, which has been more reliable for him as far as
a little bit of a problem locating that curveball.
2-1 pitch. A little bit high and inside, ball 3. As we said, no place to put the runner. Bases are loaded. A walk would tie the score at 3. Three-one pitch coming. In there for strike 2. I think that looked good all the way.
Big pitch. Don't know if Newsom would have had the green light. You would think he would. I think he's probably one of their top hitters, batting 3rd in the lineup. But here we go, full count.
Here comes that big 3-2 pitch. And it's a line drive. It's going to be foul.
Fair
no,
ball.
It's fair.
Fair
Just
ball.
called fair. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. And there is Newsom. He's going to go into 3rd with a 3-run triple. Oh, my.
Ball line drive, about a foot fair on the right field line and rolls all the way to the fence. Before Bodie Wolfer can get the throw in, Newsom with good speed ends up on 3rd base. He clears the bases.
I tell you what, that hit the chalk, but it was on the foul line side of the chalk. I thought it might be a foul ball, but umpire had a good view of it, of course. And now Athens has taken a 5-3 lead on a 3-run triple by the shortstop Easton Newsom. And that is hit deep to right field. The right fielder going back. That is going to be in the gap. So Newsom scores. Dawson Kennedy is going to, he's going to be able to go all the way around to 3rd as that ball went all the way to the fence. And he's just safe. Just safe. And boy, he is excited. I can't blame him. He tagged that to right center. It split the center fielder and the right fielder out there. They had to retrieve it, and Kennedy's a big guy, but he was steaming. He not only gets an RBI, but he gets a triple, back-to-back triples. Woo!
Well, that's something we haven't seen this year is back-to-back triples. Seen very few triples all year long on our broadcast schedule, but wow, they couldn't have been bigger for the Bulldogs, those last 2 hits.
And here is David Sharp. The fact he's up means that they have batted around. And how about that, Dan? We've gone from 3-1 Jackson to 6-3 Athens just like that. Coach Morgan Williams going down to the bullpen, I think, where Ironmen, we see somebody warming up down there.
I'm going to guess it's Xander Irvin.
That's in there for a strike.
It does look like it's Xander warming up. Probably finding out if he's ready to go or not in case they need him.
1 ball and 1 strike. Or no balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. And so Tucker retires Sharp on 3 pitches, but a lot of damage done. 5 runs in the inning. 5 runs in the inning on, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. No Jackson errors and 1 runner left on base. In the middle of the 4th inning, it's now the Athens Bulldogs 6, the Jackson Ironmen 3. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball in district semifinal tournament action on 105.3 FM and, of course, Fox Sports 1330 AM.
Home. It's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Jackson County Banking Center wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. Jackson County Banking Center, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Our family works hard so we can serve your family. That's the motto at Ramey's Used Cars, which is located 7 miles west of MacArthur on US Route 50 next to Ramey's Homes. Ramey's has been providing quality pre-owned vehicles since 1970, and Ramey's also has a high-quality parts department. Give Ramey's Automotive a call today at 596-4694, and don't forget to check out John's weekly specials. Just look for the signs and the vehicles in the front of the lot.
Okay, we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Ironmen have some work to do. A 2-run lead has left us. It is now a 3-run lead for the Bulldogs after the Bulldogs just started to begin tattooing the ball suddenly. 2 back-to-back triples was the hits that put Athens ahead and then ahead by 3. And the Ironmen, as they try to come back in this game, will come up here in the fourth inning, the bottom of the fourth, with Cade Wooford and Bodie Wooford, and then Boston Campbell against Noah Sinkoff.
22-4, the record for this Jackson Ironman team, Pete. And in the 4 losses, 3 of those are one-run affairs. They've only been beat one time by a 6-3 score down at Myrtle Beach. But the Ironmen, this one, they've got a little bit of a comeback to make here.
All right, let's see how they respond down by 3. And let's see how Noah Sinkoff bounces back after, getting some runs scored against him now, though, with a 3-run lead halfway through the game.
Cade had a big single with an RBI.
First pitch to Cade was wide for ball 1. In there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Love to see Cade get on. So much activity when he's on the bases. Good things happen.
1-1 pitch to Cade Wooford, and that is fouled out of play for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Continuing action down in the bullpen for Jackson. Too far away for us to know who it is.
It was Xander Irvin for sure warming up, but there's 2 pitchers, I think, warming up now.
And they say that Cade started to swing. The ball got away from the catcher, but he was still standing in the batter's box because he wasn't sure he swung. So that does go down as a strikeout here to start the 4th.
Bodie Wooford coming up with 2 of the biggest fielding plays of the night for the Ironmen, even though we find ourselves down by a score of 6-3. Boy, he has had 2 right field putouts to second base on hits.
And that is a deep fly to right field. The right fielder, though, is under it. Camp's under it and got it.
Boy, and just notice the lights are on here at Bob Wren Stadium.
And this will bring up Boston Campbell. 2 outs, nobody on here. Sinkoff has retired the first 2 batters, 1 on a strikeout, 1 on a fairly deep fly ball to right field. Campbell has singled. He drove in a run with that single and also popped up to short, 1 for 2. Pitch is down low, ball 1.
The complexion of this game changed quickly, Pete.
It surely did. The 1-0 pitch to Campbell is high and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Ironman looked good at a 3-1 lead, and actually it felt pretty good.
Right, Tucker Williams kind of pitching very well since he came in, and then Athens just started to hit the ball and very hard. Count to Campbell is 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on, though. Sinkoff needs a strike, and he gets it on a swing and a miss by Campbell. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch coming to Boston Campbell. Just missed, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike, a little bit wide. Sinkoff with that hitch delivery. Swing and a miss. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Athens defense deep and pretty much straight away. 3-2 pitch to Boston Campbell. Here comes that pitch. And just did get a piece of it, fouled back.
Stays alive, Boston battling in there. It is a full count. Nobody on, but 2 outs already in the bottom of the 4th inning. As we said, a 7-inning game does go quickly. Athens needs 10 more outs. We need 4 more runs.
And Campbell fouls it again to the screen. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sinkoff's thrown a lot of pitches, given up 5 hits, but did put a 0 on the board in the third. Trying to do the same here in the fourth. Pitch coming from Noah Sinkoff. Called strike 3. So Sinkoff, a good, strong fourth inning there. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base at the end of 4 innings of play. Still the Athens Bulldogs 6, the Jackson Ironmen 3. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
Sir, we're receiving an urgent message from Honda Suzuki of Jackson.
Stand by. It's the Polaris liquidation sale. Everything must go. We're limited time only. Hurry into Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson now for the best selection. Check out the full inventory at HondaofJackson.com or call 740-286-4956. Yes, we have it on radar. Look at that big red roof. Do not wait. Immediate financing available. The Polaris liquidation sale happening now. Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson.
And we go to the top half of the 5th inning here. Athens holding a 6-3 lead. 5 runs in the 4th inning turned this game around. Bulldogs with a 3-run lead. Jackson unable to do anything in the bottom of the 4th, go down 1-2-3. And now Tucker Williams still out there for the Ironmen. He'll face the same batting order that he did in the 4th as Athens batted around then when they scored 5 runs. First pitch to Wharton, who got it all going with the single, is down low and inside ball 1. Well, the first order for the Ironmen, Dan, is to keep Athens right where they are, and we'll go from there.
Really can't afford to give up any or many more runs.
That bounces in there for ball 2.
Ironmen have hit the ball nicely tonight, but Sinkoff has been solid. Through 4 innings, he's given up 3 runs, but he's got 2 goose eggs on the 3rd and the 4th inning, so he's kind of found himself getting a little stronger.
That pitch is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Wharton. Wharton 1-2. He started it off with a single, came around to score, and then 4 other Bulldogs followed him, crossing the plate in that last inning.
Back-to-back triples were
Swing
huge.
And a miss by Wharton for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch to Wharton, and that's a little chopper that goes foul over there. Easton McGraw throws it back to Tucker Williams. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ironman and Tucker Williams trying to keep this leadoff runner off base. Already going to have to fight back from a 3-run deficit here, and we're in the 5th inning. 2-2 pitch to Wharton. A little bit low, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two pitch coming to Brady Wharton. And there's a line drive into left field. Johnson coming, and it gets by him. And Wharton is going to go into second. Is he going to try for third? Here he comes. He's going to try for third. He's going to make it in there standing up. So Nolan Johnson out there tried to make a shoestring catch. He did not, and the ball got by him. So I don't know. Let's call that a single and a 2-base error. What do you think?
Or a triple. That's one of those tough ones. If he can keep it in front of him, yes, it's a single, but goes to the fence. Coach McGraw is now out on the mound. He's going to make a change. We will see Ramey Wine, I think, head to first base, and we're pulling out all the stops, it looks like, as we will put Gavin Jones on the mound here. Man on third, nobody out yet.
Ironmen want to stop the bleeding, and they go to their ace here in the 4th inning. Didn't expect to see him, although we were told if he was needed, he would be in there. Maybe a little earlier than you would like, but Ironmen need to stop things right now. Wharton hit a hard line drive. Nolan came in, tried to make a shoestring catch, could not, and it got by him.
I didn't see, does the scoreboard, they have 7 hits for Athens.
Well, I think it's a hit for sure. It's just whether it's a single and a 2-base error or a triple.
They only have 1 error on the scoreboard for Athens, so do they treat it as a triple?
Okay, well, I've got it down in the scorebook as a triple after.
That's the way I was seeing it. I mean, it was a great effort by Nolan trying to chase that down, make a diving catch, gets through him, and then it rolls for a while. Cade has to come a long way to back him up. So Wharton, who has got good speed, obviously a good hitter, ends up on third base.
So Sam Trainer will be the batter. He has walked and struck out, and they're counting on Gavin Jones to do what he can to keep Brady Wharton over there at third base. That'll be a tall order with no outs.
Watch Easton Fannin. We'll see if he's going to step up. Has his feet on the turf.
And there's a ground ball by the drawn-in Simons into left field, and so Trainer delivers an RBI single on the first pitch he sees from Gavin Jones. Infield was in to try to cut off the run at the plate, and it was just hit a little bit too hard for Simons to get it over there at shortstop, and the Bulldogs lead now 7-3.
The right fielder, number 13, Ryan Cornwell.
Ryan Cornwell comes up. He has singled and struck out 1 for 2.
Faithful listener and umpire Wayne Horsley says triple, that you can't penalize the fielder for trying to make a great play.
And that's popped up. A bunt is going to be an out by Easton McGraw there. Third baseman comes in. And so the bunt attempt goes awry. It goes down as a pop-up to the third baseman for the first out.
Thank you, Wayne.
All right, well, he knows a little bit about it.
Yes,
so
he does.
We'll defer. This will bring up Noah Sinkoff, who is had a single and reached on a fielder's choice.
One out, one on.
Pitch is low and away, ball 1. Bulldogs leading 7-3 now. They have scored a run. A big RBI single there by Sam Trainer through a drawn-in infield. But he did hit it pretty hard. Pitch is up high, ball 1. Or ball 2, rather. 2 balls and no strikes. In there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
7 runs, 8 hits for the Bulldogs. Sinkoff has pitched 4 innings. He's given up 3 runs and 5 hits.
And that's a foul ball, hit hard, but foul down the left field line and well out of play. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Lights are on here at Bob Bryn Field. And the Ironmen have to find a way to come back from a 7-3 deficit.
Nice
good pitch.
Curveball fooled him for the first out of the, or the second out of the inning, and so we go back to the top of the order and Justin Bennett.
The third baseman, number 3, Justin Bennett.
Bennett has scored a run. He has singled and walked.
Has an RBI, has a stolen base. And also advanced on a wild pitch.
Pitch is on the outside corner for a strike.
Actually gotten on 3 different times. One was a fielder's choice.
Pitch them Jones is outside, ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Athens has scored another run here to increase their lead to 4. It's 7-3. A triple and a single. Swing and a miss on the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. And there's a ground ball through the hole into right field. So a single for Bennett. Going around to third is Sam Trainer, and the Bulldogs inning continues.
Runner was running on the pitch. That made Boston running towards second base. That found that big gap in there between second base and first base into right field. Very available hit.
Baker has singled, walked, and struck out. He has scored twice. Trying to do more damage now for the Bulldogs. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 7-3. 1 run in so far in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, strike 1.
Gavin trying to keep the Ironmen within shouting distance. 7-3, the Bulldog lead.
Swing and a miss. Runner is going, and Ernst had to stretch to get the ball, and I don't think he was going to throw anyway with a runner at third, so a stolen base for Bennett out there. Runners now at third and second with 2 outs, but the count 0-2 to Landon Baker. And there's a little chopper foul to Easton McGraw down there. Count to Landon Baker is no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, swing and a miss. Jones gets a strikeout to keep the 2 runners on base. But Athens does score 1 more run in the inning on a couple of base hits. There was no Jackson errors. There was 2 runners left on base. And in the middle of the 5th inning, it's now the Athens Bulldogs 7, the Jackson Ironmen 3. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Osborne Equipment Service.
Have you been getting a lot of calls from a little boy?
Well, yes, we have.
That's my son. He always talks about how you have something for everyone.
We do. If you're looking for truck parts, we have the largest selection in the area. Your son keeps calling us looking for everything.
Derek.
Yes, Mom.
You've got to stop bothering those nice folks at work.
But, Mom, I love talking to them.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
Financial advisor Chad Niddle of Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Cincinnati Reds baseball on 97 Country the Bull WCJO.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. I believe feeling rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about living life on your terms with financial strategies that help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact me today at 740-286-4872 and let's find your rich.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jackson now staring at a 4-run deficit with 3 turns left at the bat. It will be Ryan Simetz, Nolan Johnson, and Gavin Jones here in the top half of the 5th inning. And the Ironmen, Dan, 3 runs and 5 hits in the first 2 innings, but then no runs and no hits the last 2.
Sinkoff has just gotten stronger as the game went on. Ironmen have hit the ball decently tonight, but sometimes at their people. The last couple innings have been fairly quiet for Jackson. They need to make something happen here.
First pitch is a strike to Simetz. He has singled and flied deep to right, 1 for 2. Swing and a miss, had a mighty swing and didn't get it. 1 ball, no balls and 2 strikes rather to Ryan Simetz. Sinkoff, big sigh out there. Got a 4-run lead and trying to take advantage of it. Trying to put the dagger in here. 0-2 pitch to Simetz is fouled away for strike 2. He pitched a complete game, Dan, against Meigs, and read an account of that game, and they were thinking about taking him out because he had thrown a lot of pitches, and he didn't want to come out, and he ended up finishing it, and I'm sure he feels the same way right now.
A 14 strikeout performance also, similar to what Gavin Jones did for the Ironmen in the sectional championship.
And that is fouled away again by Simetz as he's behind on the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No, rather no balls and 2 strikes. The count remains.
Ironmen need base runners.
Sinkoff ahead, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch again. Another foul to the screen. Simetz stays alive. Sinkoff dealing heat every time. Nolan Johnson on deck, Gavin Jones behind him. Meat of the Jackson order, like to do something right here because of that. Get back in the game. Pitch to Simets, and that's a line drive into center field for a base hit. Good start for the Ironmen.
Boy, that's a good at-bat for Ryan Simets, and he really stayed with that pitch. It was a little bit low and outside, and he just drills it right up the middle of the field into center field for a base hit.
First hit for the Ironmen since the second inning.
2 hits in the game for Ryan.
Johnson has singled and took a called third strike. Ironmen hope that is a harbinger of good things to come. The leadoff single by Simets. Nolan Johnson looks at it, doesn't swing, and it cost him strike 1. Simets gets a lead off first. Sinkoff looks that way, ready to deal home now. Swing and a miss on a fastball, threw it by him, strike 2.
He's been getting ahead in the count, but Ryan Simets made him work there and finally gets that single to center field. Shading to the left side for Nolan.
0-2 pitch. High and away, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tried to throw the fastball again. And that pitch is another fastball, and Johnson fouls this back to the screen to stay alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coach talked to Coach Todd Newsom before the game. Says that they really expected a good season, and they've got experienced players, and especially a very strong junior class. So this team will probably be very good again next year.
They are league champions for the Tri-Valley Conference.
1-2 pitch coming to Nolan Johnson.
Like us, with a lot of good underclassmen also.
Holds his bat back. I don't think he swung. They go down there, and the first base umpire says safe, so Nolan Johnson survives for another pitch. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch to Nolan Johnson. Long look. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Took a little bit off of it and got the strikeout.
Sinkoff just been very tough out there. That was a very good pitch. Took off of it, curled in there, catches it, grazes an edge of the plate, and that's a big first out.
Gavin Jones up. He has doubled and walked. Has an RBI. 7 strikeouts for Sinkoff. Pitch, letter high fastball called strike 1.
They haven't got Gavin out yet tonight. Boy, his double was a shot 2, left center field.
Pitch is outside and high, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The double was an RBI double. Drove in the Ironmen's 1 run in the first inning to tie the score at 1-1.
Down 4, the Ironmen showing no signs of trying to maybe steal. 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2 on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ryan Simets, very capable base runner, but you'd hate to run out of an inning with your cleanup hitter at the plate.
1-2 pitch coming to Gavin Jones. And there's a line drive, but foul. Man, he stroked that.
Turned on that one, hit a shot right over Coach McGraw's head. Down the left field line, but a foul.
One-two pitch coming again to Gavin Jones. A little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Once again, Gavin with a great eye at the plate. That one wasn't too far outside.
Not at all. 2-2 pitch coming to Gavin Jones. Ironmen down 4, runner on base. Now Jones steps out, got tired of waiting.
Ironmen trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th inning, down 4 runs.
And a steal there, a pitch. Jones lets it go by. It's called ball 3, a kind of a delay by the runner and a delay by the catcher, and Simets gets a stolen base.
Running on the pitch, stole it easily.
Count to Jones goes 3 balls and 2 strikes. And once again, Sinkoff takes a little bit too long, and Jones steps up.
Curious there, the catcher took his mask off, asked the home plate umpire something. Some of the fans here thought it should have been a called 3rd strike, but it's not. It's a full count, man on second, 1 out.
3-2 pitch to Jones. Ball 4, low again. So Gavin Jones works a very stressful walk there. Couple of close pitches.
There were a couple close ones, and Gavin's good eye there at the plate. Now the assistant coach for Athens will take a walk out to Sinkoff and just talk things over with him. It'll be a meeting on the mound there as you have the whole infield come together.
No, Ernst will be the batter, but before that, there's going to be a meeting of all the minds, it looks like. All the infielders out there, the pitcher, the catcher, and the head coach.
A little bit here on the left, or the third base side, as Coach McGraw will discuss things with Noah. On deck hitter Xander Irvin and the base runner Nolan Johnson. Well, not Nolan, Ryan Simets.
Yep, Ryan Simets. By the way, we are at Bob Wren Stadium. Bob Wren coached baseball here at Ohio University for 24 years, from 49 to 72, won 11 Mid-American Conference championships. I know that because there's a plaque outside as you enter the stadium. He coached none other than Philly star and Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt.
That guy could make you a very good coach, couldn't he?
I don't know whether they played on this stadium or not. I think it was on the other side of Richland
It was on
Avenue.
the other side of, yes.
Right.
That's where Mike Schmidt played when he was here at OU.
Right, just on the other side of Richland Avenue over there. The first pitch to Noah Ernst is low, ball 1.
1 out, 2 on. Ironmen need runs as they find themselves down by 4. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
Simons at second, Jones at first. 1 out. Ironmen down 4, trying to do something about that right now. Pitch to Ernst is in there for a strike, a good fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
All league, all district catcher Noah Ernst.
One pitch coming to Noah Ernst. And
that one bounces.
Is low. It's going to go by the catcher all the way to the fence, and Simets goes to third, even rounds third over there. Took a look. Into second, of course, easily is Gavin Jones, and now the Ironmen down 4 have 2 runners in scoring position at third and second after that wild pitch.
That makes Sinkoff have to think about things like that. Another pitch that gets past the catcher probably results in a run for Jackson.
Count is 2-1 to Ernst. This is the first inning where Sinkoff has been behind some of the batters that I can remember anyway.
First base is open.
Count to Ernst is 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is called strike 2 across the letters, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Ernst looks back at the umpire, asks where that pitch was maybe or something like that.
I think he might have thought it was a little high, but 2-2's the count.
It was straight. If anything, it was high. Count to Ernst is 2-2. Another big time here in this game. The Ironmen trying to claw their way back. 2-2 pitch to Ernst is low, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sinkoff isn't missing by much, Dan. I'll give him that.
No, I don't think. You can kind of see over there the bullpen doesn't look like anybody is warmed up yet for the Bulldogs. They're going with Sinkoff as we speak. He has the lead. He's thrown a lot of pitches.
3-2 pitch to Ernst. And that's a line drive that's going to fall in. Center fielder cuts it off. Both Jackson runners, I believe, are going to score. They do. A 2-run single by Noah Ernst, and it's now 7-5.
What a big hit. Just a shot right over the shortstop's head. Runners with good, we had good speed on the base paths. Both runs score. 2 RBI single by our all-league catcher.
And that wild pitch, Dan, allowed 2 runs to score rather than 1. Xander Irvin bats. He flew deep. He lined out deep to left and has struck out.
Ironmen didn't score in the 3rd or 4th inning. We knew they needed to do something here in the 5th, and they are making some noise.
Pitch to Irvin is called strike 1.
Xander is 0 for 2, but boy, he's hit a lot of foul balls. Hit the one fly ball to left field, deep left field, that the left fielder made a great play on.
Pitch to Xander, inside, ball 1 with an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ironmen have plated 2 runs here to cut the lead to 7-5. A runner on at first still, 1 man out. Xander Irvin up with a 1-1 count. And that is popped up. Is that going to be in play for the third baseman?
They're going to play, I think, but he didn't see it.
Oh,
third baseman did not see it. He lost it either in the lights, some way or shape or form. He put his hands up. He had no chance. It fell near the Jackson Ironman dugout. So Xander Irvin gets new life.
A lot of room, so it was playable. The third baseman could have been over there, but he just could not find the ball. Either in the lights or whatever. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Xander Irvin. Pitch. And that is a fly ball to deep left field. Left field going back. Oh, and he dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! Into third base. Xander Irvin in at second. A very deep fly ball. The left fielder bends over. I know he feels bad. The ball was in his glove and popped out. We'll have to call that an error.
Xander hit it hard once again to left field, as he's done for the 2nd time tonight. The left fielder did take a step in, misread it a little bit, got back there in time to get his glove on it, but could not pull it in. And that is another big play here for the Ironmen. They got him on 2nd and 3rd again. Pete Wilson down 2 runs. Opportunities here.
Right. And Ramey Wyatt will come up. And the scoreboard, official or not, does put that on as an error. Left fielder went back, had the ball in his glove, and it just fell out.
It did.
But he did go back to get it. And
he was on a dead run going backwards, but he got there, just couldn't pull it in. Ironmen need to take advantage of a situation like this.
Strike to Ramey Wyatt. Wyatt batted the first time around when he was pitching. He struck out. Then Tucker Williams, who came in for him, batted the 2nd time and popped up to the catcher. Athens 7, Jackson 5, but the tying runs are in scoring position at 3rd and 2nd.
Actually, it's Ramey's first at bat, Pete Wilson. Tucker was the one that got on by the error.
Swing and a miss by Wyatt. That's right. You're absolutely right. Wyatt never got to bat because he went out in the 2nd inning, and that's when this place in the batting in the order batted. Sinkoff has bounced back. He's 0-2 ahead of Ramey Wyatt right now. Pitch coming. Just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Leighton Camp is pinch running for Xander Irvin at 2nd base.
Sinkoff dealing mostly fastballs as he has all game. He's ahead of Wyatt, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Noah Ernst on 3rd base.
Pitch coming. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Catcher almost throws it over the pitcher's head. We wouldn't mind that going into center field. It'd give us another break.
That would have scored another run. You wonder why that doesn't happen a little more often. Just out of carelessness.
2-2, 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position. Ironmen down by a score of 7-5.
Wyatt trying to make something happen on a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Low ball 3.
Ramey making him work on this one, was quickly down 0-2. Now has worked it to a full count. Cade Wooford on deck.
Three balls and 2 strikes to Ramey Wyatt. It had been 0-2. Long look. Here's the pitch. High ball 4. Bases are loaded.
Great job at the plate there by Ramey to force that walk.
And Cade Wooford will come up. He singled, drove in a run in the first inning, and then struck out in the second. Sinkoff got ahead of him, and he was called out on a check swing on an 0-2 pitch.
Still just 1 out, folks.
The pitch to Wooford. Outside, ball 1.
Cade had the big hit in the second inning with an RBI. 1 more right now would be a thing of beauty.
Pitch to Wooford. Called strike 1. Count to Wooford. Count to Wooford is 1 ball and 1 strike. Little technical difficulty, but we're here. The count is 1-1 on Cade Wooford. Pitch. Low ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
We're back.
Bases are loaded. Didn't mean to go away in a key time, but it's right where it stood when we had that little glitch. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Cade Wooford now. Bases are loaded. There is 1 man out.
Our buddy Hayden Milliken here to fix all glitches.
2-1 pitch coming to Cade. Outside, ball 3.
Wow, this is getting exciting for the Ironmen, mounting a comeback here. Found themselves down 4 runs going into the bottom of the 5th inning. They've got 2 in already. The bases loaded and just 1 out. 3-1 count to senior Cade Wooford.
Cade's got to see a good one here. Three-1 pitch coming from Sinkoff. He's got to throw a strike. And he does for strike 2.
Oh, Cade threw his bat down and was headed down first base, but the umpire with a little bit of a delayed call calls it strike 2. The count is full.
Well, Cade's seen a lot of big moments in his athletic career, so that's not going to bother him.
No, and he's handled them all pretty beautifully.
3-2 pitch to Cade. Ball 4.
Look at Cade clapping to the dugout. Works that walk.
He gets an RBI, and I believe with the score now 7-6, the Ironmen draw within 1. Coach, well, that is the assistant coach coming out, so I'm not exactly sure. That pitch, Dan, was close too.
Yes, it was, but boy, Cade with a couple great at-bats there, not only by Ramey Wyatt, but Cade Wooford to work walks out of him. Walk as good as a hit in that moment. 1 out still, bases loaded, 7-6. I guess this is what district semifinal championship should be like.
Well, Sinkoff with 3 walks now in the inning. That hadn't been a problem for him before, but 3 walks have really got him in a peck of trouble here. And do we have a new pitcher that's getting ready to warm up there?
I think so. Let's see here. They have broke their huddle.
It is number 3. Is that
Justin Bennett, who was their 3rd baseman. He will be coming on to pitch for Athens in a tough situation. Bottom of the 5th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. with a 1-run lead.
Bodie Wolford will bat. He'll be the first batter to face him. He has struck out and flied to left. He's 0 for 2. Ironmen have drawn within 1, and now the Athens Bulldogs and their fans a little stressed out as the Ironmen got a great chance to tie or maybe even take the lead here.
Pete got to do a pregame interview with the Athens broadcast team earlier today, and I talked about strengths of the Ironmen. 2 of them that jump out at me. One is pitching depth. The other was strength up and down the order. The bottom of our order is certainly not a weakness. Cade Wooford, now with his second RBI of the game. I know it's a walk, but he worked that walk so well. Bodie Wooford has had so many big hits this year, but he still is having 2 of the biggest fielding plays that we've seen all season long in tonight's game.
So the Leighton Camp, the pinch runner, is over at third. Ramey Wyant is at second. Cade Wooford now at first with an RBI on a walk. And Bodie Wooford will bat. And I tell you what, Coach Newsom went with Sinkoff a long time.
I think as long as he could. Sinkoff, it was a gutty performance, but just had a hard time finding home plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Was down once 3-1, but he had pitched to saw himself have a 7-3 lead. The Ironmen now with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded. We're not done yet.
So the Ironmen, who haven't had to play from behind very much in this long winning streak, doing that right now. They have cut the lead from 7-3 to 7-6, and they still bat here with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 5th. 3 runs in already.
Righty against righty.
Bennett is a right-hander. First pitch to Bodie is ball 1.
Would you say the plate's a little smaller tonight than it was in the sectional championship game at Sparky Haller Field?
It certainly was. 1-0 pitch to Bodie Wooford. And there is a line drive. It's going to fall. No, the left fielder did get it. And here comes a runner trying to score. I believe he's safe.
He does.
He's safe. The ball got away from the catcher. Would have been a close play. I think the run would have been safe, Dan.
Oh, I agree totally. We had it. The run's in there. That's a sacrifice fly for Bodie. That's a big job at the plate there by the sophomore.
Leighton Camp, by the way, scored the tying run there. And they're going to ask for an appeal at third base, and the home plate umpire says that Leighton Camp did not leave too early.
Nice job of pinch running by Camp.
Score is locked up now, 7-7, and here is Boston Campbell.
Senior second baseman with 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th.
And that gets away from the catcher that goes all the way to the screen. Both runners are going to move up.
That has been a factor earlier in this inning. The wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position for our senior second baseman.
Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Boston Campbell. And now 2 runners in scoring position in a tie ball game. Swing and a miss on a fastball.
Runners in scoring position. Obviously, it puts a little pressure on the pitcher and the catcher. You can't have another pass ball or wild pitch.
0-1 pitch coming to Campbell. And that
that's
gets by the catcher. In to score. The go-ahead run is Ramey Wyant. The Ironmen have come all the way back and now taken the lead 8-7. On another wild pitch, 2 of them now, back to back. Over to third base, of course, goes Cade Wooford. And the count to Campbell was 2 balls and 1 strike. Athens had their big inning, a 5-run inning, but Jackson has now matched that, and that has given them the lead here in the bottom of the 5th, 8-7.
2 outs, but we still have that runner on third base.
And a foul at the plate by Campbell. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that runner on third base has outstanding speed. Mentioned what kind of pressure that puts on the pitcher or the catcher. Pass balls or wild pitches results in pretty much guaranteed runners advancing.
2-2 pitch to Boston Campbell, and there's a ground ball through the hole in the left field. Cade Wooford shakes his fist as he crosses the plate. The Ironmen now lead 9-7 on an RBI single by Boston Campbell.
Second RBI single of the night for Boston, but this one was huge. Gives the Ironmen the 9-7 lead.
And the Ironmen have officially batted around. Ryan Simets, remember, started this off, Dan, with a single, got her going, and he's batting again now in the same inning. 6 runs in the inning. Ironmen now lead 9-7.
Boston, good base runner on first base.
Curve ball is down low, ball 1.
They had to bring Bennett in a tough situation.
One-0 pitch to Simets. In there for a nope, ball 2.
Ball 2. Ironman actually with only 3 hits on a 6-run inning, but 3 walks, on with an error also.
Count to Simets is 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch, down low, ball 3. That skipped across the plate.
Catcher did a good job of blocking that one. Boston could have walked to second base if it gets all the way to the backstop.
Simon steps back in. He's got the advantage of a 3-0 count here. Let's see what he does. Justin Bennett throws. Ball 4.
Second time this inning Ryan has been on base. Now runners at first and second. That puts another runner in scoring position. Nolan Johnson coming to the plate. He'll get a little coaching from Coach McGraw as he walks down to get some direction from the third base coach, who doubles as the head coach. 6-run inning and still working at it. 9-7, your Ironman with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Pitch to Nolan Johnson. It gets away from the catcher. It skipped in there, and both runners are going to advance.
That one bounced.
I'll tell you what, Dan, when there's a wild pitch or even a pass ball, you feel bad for the catcher because you're probably going to get an advance. And if you're not careful, maybe more than a 1-base advance.
Well, now the pressure once again is on with runners on second and third. You can't afford a wild pitch or a pass ball, and that's certainly been a factor in this inning.
The count is 1-0 to Nolan Johnson.
Boy, the
Ball 2.
big backdrop here behind home plate has been a factor in this baseball game. Nolan had the first hit for the Ironmen tonight.
Ball 3.
First base is open, but boy, you got Gavin Jones on deck. 3-0 the count.
Johnson squares to bunt, but I don't think he's going to it. He takes called strike 1.
Been a while between strikes. He stepped back, so he was taking that one, but he did show bunt just to maybe put a little pressure on that pitcher.
3-1 pitch to Nolan Johnson, ready to come. Ironmen lead 9-7, 6 runs in the inning. 3-1 pitch, called strike 2.
2 outs, full count. Runners can be moving on this pitch.
Payoff pitch coming from Bennett. Inside, ball 4. Bases are loaded for the Jackson Ironmen cleanup hitter, Gavin Jones. He has walked twice and doubled.
Have we mentioned he's the Frontier Athletic Conference Player of the Year, Pete?
And here comes the Athens assistant coach out. Let's see what's going to happen here. Of course, there's no place to
He's going to make a pitching change. He's bringing in the right fielder. Who is that? Wharton? You know, he's left field. Right field will be Ryan Cornwell.
Cornwell is the young man who pitched against the Ironmen when Jackson and Athens played in the non-league game, or the regular season game, rather, on April the 26th. And he actually did pitch very well until about the 5th inning when Jackson got through and scored 6 runs in 2 innings.
Well, if you're an Athens Bulldog fan, you are in dire need of an out here. Cornwell comes in and is greeted with the bases loaded. It is 2 outs. No margin of error allowed there. Boy, Pete, the wild pitches or pass balls, however you want to call them, certainly was a factor in this inning to keep things alive for Jackson. A couple of great at-bats for walks. Ramey Wyatt and Cade Wolford, those back-to-back walks were huge, and they had to fight off pitches that were extremely close to the pit or to home plate.
But Cornwell becomes the third Athens pitcher. He replaces Justin Bennett, who just had trouble finding the plate just as Sinkoff did to start the inning.
A little bit of credence there for you again, Pete.
4 walks in the inning, Dan. Seems like it's more than that even. That's what I have.
3 hits, 4 walks, an error. No, we've got 5 walks.
Oh, 5 walks. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
5 walks, an error, and 3 hits by your Ironmen. What's that result in? A 6-run inning with the bases still loaded.
Well, we said when we started the 5th inning, Jackson needs to make something happen in this inning, at least draw closer, and they have done much more than that.
Cornwell is a righty. He'll be facing a righty in Gavin Jones.
Well, he's a lefty, actually.
Oh, you're right. Interesting.
The pitcher, number 11, Gavin Jones.
Okay, Gavin Jones steps in. Cornwell has thrown his warm-up pitches. We're ready to go. Bases loaded. Jackson leading 9-7. 6 runs in so far. First pitch to Gavin Jones is high and away. Ball 1. Cornwell is a lefty.
Boy, if you're Cornwell, you have to be a little bit nervous coming in this situation.
Cornwell and Ironmen know each other. Cornwell's pitched he pitched at least 5 innings against the Ironmen the first time. That pitch is outside for ball 2.
Nowhere to put Gavin. Quickly behind in the count. 2 balls, no strikes.
Gavin has an excellent eye, as we have said, and he's ahead 2-0 here. In there with a strike, 2-1.
Gavin was going to make him throw a strike. He did. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded. What an exciting baseball game this has been.
2-1 pitch to Gavin Jones, and that is hit high in the air. The left fielder is going to have a play, looking up into the lights, and he's got it. So Jones skies deep to left field, but it is the 3rd out of the inning, so Cornwell does his job. But in the inning, the Ironmen score 6 big runs on 3 base hits. There was 1 Athens error, a big Athens error, and there were about 5 walks in the inning. There was 3 men left on base, but Jackson scores 6 runs as well as leaving the men on base. So now, at the end of 5 innings of play, it's the Jackson Ironmen 9, the Athens Bulldogs 7. You are listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Start and end your day with McDonald's of Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur. Start your day off with a McGriddle. For lunch, how about a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese? And dinner, enjoy some McNuggets or maybe a great shake and fries. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you're always cooking up something great from your Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur McDonald's. And I'm loving it. And you will too.
Baby, Ramey's Homes is all shook up over our low rock bottom prices on America's most popular manufactured and modular homes. Ramey's Homes has the largest selection of quality built manufactured homes in southern Ohio with the most flexible terms available. Don't be cruel. Hurry to Ramey's Mobile Homes, 7 miles west of MacArthur on Route 50 and 2 miles south of Chillicothe on US 23, baby. And we'll see you there, Teddy Bear.
Okay, we go to the top half of the 6th inning, and the Ironmen score 6 big runs in the bottom of the 5th to take a 9-7 lead. And now the game, the pitching game at least, on the shoulders of the Ironmen's ace, Gavin Jones.
Ironman needs 6 outs. I can't think of a better guy to have on the mound than Gavin Jones. But he has his work cut out for him. That Athens team is the real deal. They are a solid team. And he gets to now start facing two men. His first two at batters he's going to face this inning. Each had triples their last at bats.
High and away, ball one to Easton Newsom. He is the shortstop. He has been on twice. He has tripled. He had one of those big triples when Athens broke loose for 6 runs there in the 4th inning. That pitch is called strike one. He has also walked.
A 3 RBI triple. That was huge.
Oh my, that was the big hit of the game for Athens so far. Outside, ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You weren't in a hurry to get home, were you tonight, Pete?
Que sera.
That away.
Count the Newsom, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Gavin Jones. And there's a ground ball. Bounced off Jones. Simon's got it. Throws over to first. Oh, can't get it over there. Ramey Wyatt tried to come up with the short hop. Wasn't able to do it. It just deflected off Jones's glove. Then Simons came over, picked it up, bobbled it. When he threw over to first, still would have been in time, but Wyatt couldn't come up with the short hop. Would have been a good play on his end, so that's going to have to go down as an error there. He should have been retired.
Could have been retired, but it was hard hit.
It was. He did what he did.
Fielded totally cleanly. Ryan knew he had to get it over there quickly.
Pitch to Donovan Kennedy, who also had a triple.
RBI triple by Kennedy.
He's 1 through 3.
What a unique baseball game, and to see back-to-back triples.
Swing and a miss, took something off of it. Strike 2.
Gets ahead on the count.
(0-2) pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Boy, what a nice pitch there by Gavin. They foul tipped it on a check swing, but a nice job by Ernst. He makes the catch and tags the runner out.
David Sharp, the catcher, he has struck out twice, also walked. Pitch by Jones is in there for strike 1.
Sharp, the catcher, boy, he had a big that last inning with a lot of pitches in the dirt. They were getting through. That was a big factor for the Ironmen, getting those 6 runs.
That pitch is low. Ernst keeps it in front of him to keep the runner at first base. 1 ball and 1 strike.
As Sharp will attest, you just can't let them go all the way to the backstop. If they do, runners advance.
We don't fault the catcher for those wild pitches either. They were just not catchable. 1-1 pitch. Oh, nice fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little mustard on that one. Jones working quickly. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Got a feeling if you're Athens, you feel the same way we did the last inning. You got to make something happen here. You don't want to be facing Gavin Jones and need 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning, but that's a big second out.
And Brady Wharton, single, triple, and struck out. 2 through 3, scored 2 runs.
As we understand, their hottest hitter at this point in the season, our hottest pitcher. Pretty good matchup here.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. Jones pitching from the stretch. 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2.
That was a curveball that came across the letters.
Wharton either was impressed by the pitch or didn't like the call. No balls and 2 strikes.
He should be both.
Got Wharton in the hole, 0-2. Here's the pitch. A little bit low and away. Once again, Ernst blocks it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch coming. Strike 3, right down the heart of the plate. In the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 Jackson error, 1 runner left on base. In the middle of the 6th, it's the Jackson Ironmen 9, the Athens Bulldogs 7. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
See the people who care. We make it easy to do, cause we care about you. Go with Monroe, we'll get you on the road. We make it oh so easy. Monroe's Frame and Collision. Our work says it all.
How do you hunt head? Build your own burrito or bowl, or pick a craft recipe from Leroy's lineup. At Hothead Burritos, we have bold burrito and bowl combinations, like the Hawaiian with fresh pineapple, seasoned chicken, and sweet habanero sauce. The Jalapeno Ranch, loaded with tender, meaty steak. And Leroy's Spicy Chicken, featuring our famous Hothead sauce. Burrito or bowl, our craft menu features even more of what you love. More choices, more flavor. It's all yours at Hothead Burritos.
Okay, we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Jackson coming off that 6-run fifth inning that was a turnaround inning, turned a 7-3 deficit into a 9-7 lead. Gavin Jones in command in the top of the sixth. Jackson wouldn't mind padding it a little bit against the third Athens pitcher, who is Ryan Cornwell. Give that young man credit. He came in with the bases loaded and was able to get a strikeout or a fly out on Gavin Jones, which isn't the easiest thing to do. The batter for the Ironmen will be Noah Ernst. He has struck out, flied to left, but he has struck out, had a sacrifice bunt, and a very big RBI single that drove in 2 runs back in that big sixth inning.
Huge hit in that inning for Noah Ernst. See if the Ironmen can maybe get a little insurance here before Gavin goes to the mound. He's 3 outs away.
High and away, ball 1. That goes all the way to the backstop. Here's your 1-0 pitch from Cornwell. That's high and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, after Mr. Noah Sinkoff had great control for 4 innings, suddenly all the Athens pitching having trouble throwing strikes.
5 walks last inning, the 6-run inning for the Ironmen. That and some wild pitches, a few big hits, and wow, the Ironmen changed this game around.
Ball 3, high and away. .30 pitch, ready to come from Ryan Cornwell to Noah Ernst. High and away, ball 4. Not exactly what the doctor ordered for the Bulldogs, a leadoff walk on 4 pitches to Noah Ernst.
Comes Xander Irvin, got on with an error the last inning. Pinch ran for him, and Leighton Camp scored a big run. Xander back at the bat. He has hit the ball nicely tonight for actually showing 0-3 in the scorebook. Looking down the third baseline, getting a message from Coach McGraw.
And Irvin takes a strike across the letters. I don't think he thought that was a strike.
Pretty sure he didn't. It seems like it's been a fairly small strike zone tonight. That one stretched the boundaries a bit.
0-1 pitch coming to Xander Irvin. That's high, ball 1. Looked about the same place as the other one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Xander Irvin. Noah Ernst to lead off walk on 4 pitches. He's standing out there at first base. Bottom of the 6th, Ironmen lead 9-7. Hoping to go to the district championship game. And there is a ground ball through the hole into left field. Perfectly placed. A single for Irvin. And the Ironmen have put the first 2 runners on base, and Athens cannot afford to let any more Jackson runs cross the plate.
Really, Xander's had good at-bats all night. He deserves having a base hit on that one. Found the gap between third base and shortstop. 2 on, nobody out. Ramey Wyant with the big walk. He scored a run also.
Ramey got, remember, he got a walk in that big 6th inning where he took pitch after pitch after pitch and got a big walk on a 3-2 pitch.
He was down 0-2 and worked his way into a walk, and that was huge.
It was. See if Coach McGraw wants to maybe bunt here.
Kind of a senior-type moment.
He squares the bunt, and that goes all the way to the screen. It was way over the catcher's head, and everybody's going to advance one base. Walks and wild pitches have really come to spook the Athens Bulldogs in the late going in this game. Well, I don't think we're going to see the bunt now unless we have a suicide squeeze.
Don't say that. Remember that last year.
Yeah, well, we know it can work.
Yeah, it does work occasionally, but...
The count to Wyan is 1 ball and no strikes. Cornwell throws. In there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Athens infield is in. They want to cut off the run at the plate.
Runs are precious right now. They're down by 2 runs. They can't give many more away.
Nobody out, 2 runners on base. And that is high and away, and Sharp has to reach high to get that one.
Catcher
2
really
balls and
had
1
to
strike.
stretch, or that might have been a run because Noah Ernst was well down the baseline. He dives back at third even though there was no throw.
Cornwell probably overthrowing a little bit, knows he needs to record outs. Missing the strike zone high and away with a lot of these pitches. 2-1 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Got Wyatt out in front, and he misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Be a good start for Athens if they could get a strikeout here.
Boy, with the pitchers in toward the turf, if you can hit the ball with any authority, there's a great opportunity to get it through that infield.
2-2 pitch coming. And Wyatt ruins it with a foul back to the screen. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
To see some activity in the bullpen for the Bulldogs.
Yep, we see somebody down there warming up. We have no idea. It's way out of our sight as far as seeing a number.
Hoyt Monroe either is catching or pitching down there. I did see him headed that way.
2-2 pitch. Up high, ball 3.
Full count once again by Ramey.
Went to an off-speed pitch, and it almost hit the strike zone, but was a little high, it looked.
No outs. First base is open. 2 runners in scoring position.
Wyatt waves the bat. He's going to see another 3-2 pitch. And there's a ground ball just foul between the third base bag and Coach McGraw in that third base coaching box. Ironmen 9, Athens 7. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Jackson has come all the way back from a 4-run deficit to take a 2-run lead. They have a chance to build on that lead right now, an excellent chance with 2 runners on base, scoring position, nobody out. 3-2 pitch coming to Wyatt. And it's fouled at the plate.
With the infield in, it's interesting. Xander Irvin, who knows his baseball, obviously, all the way down right behind the shortstop by the time the pitch gets to home plate, knowing he can get back easily, which he did. That was a foul tip. Full count still.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, we see the 3-2 pitch. High ball 4.
Ramey for the 2nd inning in a row, works a walk.
And here comes the Athens assistant coach again.
You see if the pitcher in the bullpen is ready, if that's the decision they want to make. Nobody out, bases loaded again. Boy, accuracy on their pitching certainly has been the downfall so far for the Bulldogs here in the last few innings.
Well, that has definitely played a major role, the walks and the wild pitches. And I tell you, roll the clock back, Dan, 30, 45 minutes. How different did we feel then?
Oh, my gosh. Think of this, Pete Wilson. They've yet to get an out this inning. So in the last inning plus this one, we are looking at 7 walks by Bulldog pitching.
And the score is 7-3. And let's see, haven't really seen any shifting out there. A long discussion there. The plate umpire is going to come out and break it up.
Might be just letting the bullpen get warmed up a little better, too. As we said, they just headed that way. They're standing at the gateway down there as if they get the signal or not. Cade Wolford will be at the plate. He has a RBI single, an RBI walk,
And the
2 runs scored.
The assistant coach does not call for the bullpen, so it looks like that the pitcher, Cornwell, will stay out there, the lefty, against Cade Wolford, who has an RBI single. He has struck out, and he has a big walk that drove in a run. 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Nice game for the senior. Infield is in at all stations. First pitch to Cade is swung and fouled back. Had a good swing at a fastball.
Yes, he did.
He'd like to have that back, I think.
I think so, too. Kind of looked down toward the dugout and says, I should have got that one. Cade's been so spectacular his career here at Jackson High School. Don't we hate to say the fact that he's going to graduate this weekend?
Okay, well,
Can we get a redshirt year?
The 0-1 pitch is high and away, ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ernst on at third, Irvin on at second, Wyan on at first.
Cornwell has to throw strikes.
The 1-1 pitch is high. Oh, no, they called strike 2 call. I don't think Cade agreed.
No. I don't think he should have. That one looked a little bit high and wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he fouls it back. It looked like he was trying to go to right field with it and instead fouled it back to the screen, home plate screen. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bodie Wolford waits on deck. Nobody out. Jackson, a chance to break open a 9-7 game. The pitch to Cade is high and away, ball 2 with the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Because of the infield in, the runners are getting excellent leads.
Cornwell looks in, nods assent. Here's the pitch, the 2-2 pitch. High, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cornwell coming home with the 3-2 pitch. And swing and a miss. Big out there to get Cade Wolford out, and that is the first out. And so it'll now be up to brother Bodie. He has struck out, flied to right, and hit a sacrifice fly that got in run in back in that big 5th inning. Bases are still loaded, and it looks like Athens, let's see what they're going to do, to see if they bring the infield back and maybe go for a double play. No, they're not.
They're still in, very close.
They don't believe they can afford to give up a run. This makes any hitter. And there's another wild pitch, and there's another run going to score. Everybody's going to move up 1 base, and Dan, Paul Bunyan, that would have been over his head.
Yeah, absolutely. Noah Ernst comes in easily to score.
10-7 Ironmen.
10-7 is the Ironman lead. There's still only 1 out.
And of course, that was ball 1 with a capital B.
One thing about it, they're
pitches.
wild pitches, and they have been wild. I mean, it's not like they're getting past the catcher. They're over and out of his reach.
1-0 pitch from Cornwell. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch to Bodie Wolford. That's popped up. That's going to be in the infield. Second baseman, first baseman.
The pitcher's going to take it.
The pitcher's going to,
and he drops the ball. Oh my gosh, the second baseman needs to call him off on that. It's always a little tougher from the pitcher's mound. You're stepping back just a little bit. And as high as that went, you just wonder what kind of vision, do you lose it in the lights a little bit? Regardless, the bases are loaded again. Senior second baseman up there already has 2 hits in the game with 2 RBIs. Could get a handful more here.
And that is hit deep to
That's
center
gonna
field.
bring one.
Center fielder comes over. And he lost it in the lights. One run is going to score. Everybody's going to move up one base. The center, I have to believe he must have lost it in the lights, Dan, because he was there.
He overran it just a little bit again, which we've seen their outfielders do a couple times. Regardless, Boston gets the run in with that long, high fly ball right to center field.
Well, Campbell is going to, I tell you what, he's going to get an E8, but he's also going to get an RBI because that would have scored the run if he would have caught the ball.
Agreed.
So, I mean, Athens really having some trouble late in the late going here. It's now 11-7. There is still only one out and the bases are loaded.
Ryan Simets, 2 hits in the contest plus a walk. He has a stolen base, and he has the bases loaded and just one out.
Ryan takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Infield is still in, Pete. We know how Ryan puts the bat on the ball quite frequently here.
1-1 to Simets. 2 runs in now, and that pitch is up high, ball 2. Ironmen have now scored 8 unanswered runs and lead 11-7. Simets, 2 balls and 1 strike. No place to put him now either. And that pitch is fouled out of play, had a good cut at it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No, a couple errors in the inning, a couple walks, a wild pitch. Not a good one for the Bulldogs here as they've tried to stay in this game. They've hurt themselves. Pitch to Simets, and that is a line drive over the shortstop's head into left field. 1 run is going to score, 2 runs is going to score. A 2-run single for Ryan Simets. And once again, Dan, the infield was in, and he hit it over the shortstop's head.
Hit a line drive, hit a rope, but it was out of his outstretched arms. And Newsman, the shortstop, is pretty tall young man, but still couldn't get to it, and 2 more RBIs in for the Ironmen. Wow.
Bodie Wolford's, Boston Campbell stops at second base down there.
Bodie scores. Ramey Wyant scores 13-7. Now, Pete, I'm not sure, but if Gavin Jones did not pitch 50 pitches, would you consider making a pitching change for the top of the 7th?
With a 6-run lead, I think I would.
I think that last hit might cement that. I see some activity down in the bullpen. I'm going to guess it's Xander Irvin possibly warming up. While we're sitting here speculating, Athens is making a pitching change.
Right, and there is still only 1 out, and there's 2 runners still on base.
Ironmen trying to get a district semifinal win here tonight to give them the opportunity to play for a district championship this Wednesday night. That will be against Frontier Athletic Conference foe, the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions. They had an 8-1 win in the first game of tonight's doubleheader.
Well, the pitcher,
I think they've all headed for home. They had players here watching a few innings, but it's getting...
The pitcher is going to be, by the way, a left-hander, Jackson Moore. He's coming off the bench, hadn't been in the game yet.
Been warming up a long time down the bullpen. They finally decided to make the change. 4th pitcher of the evening for the Athens Bulldogs. Pitching, fielding, everything's been a factor after the Ironmen found themselves down by a score of 7-3. And it didn't look good. It didn't feel good. And what do the Ironmen do? They answer with 10 runs and have a 13-7 lead.
Wow, okay.
3rd hit of the night for Ryan Simets. Right after he's named first team all-district as a sophomore at our shortstop position. That was a big one.
Well, you know, the game is not over, and we've seen a crazy game where there's a lot of runs, a lot of, mistakes happen. And we have a kind of, it appears we have a tight strike zone. But I tell you what, the Ironmen have passed one of the tests of a champion, and that is being willing to come back when things are going against you, and they certainly were in this game.
Yes. Ironman riding a 16-game winning streak coming into this contest. 22-4 on the season. What a spectacular season it's been, but still got to find a way to get 3 outs.
Pitch is inside to Nolan Johnson. That was the first pitch from left-hander Jackson Moore. That's Jaxon. 2 runners still on base. Campbell on at second. Simons with that 2-run single on at first. And there's a fly ball deep to center field. Center fielder is floating back. He should catch that, and he does. Johnson gave it a good ride.
Nice job there by Boston, though. Saw that it was going to be caught, so he hangs on second base and tags, gets over to third. We got him on the corners.
And here's Gavin Jones, a chance to maybe still play some add-on here. He has flied to left, walked twice, and had an RBI double.
Number 11, Gavin Jones.
First pitch to Gavin Jones is high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch is high and away again, ball 2.
That was interesting.
Simons gets a stolen base, and it is the slowest stolen base you'll ever see in baseball.
Just challenging the pitcher to throw and try to get him out. If so, they were going to send the runner at third.
Right, they were going to get him,
trying to sneak a run in.
They were going to get him in a pickle, and then the runner from third, I'm sure, was going to break.
Second stolen base of the night for Ryan Simez.
Gavin Jones is high and away, ball 3. Ironmen have tried that before and been successful with it.
Yes, they've run that play a number of times.
They would sacrifice the third out if they had to get another run.
I just saw Boston was sneaking off the bag there. If they make that throw to second, he is off and running.
3-0 pitch, Jones sows bunt, and he takes a strike over the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike.
It's interesting. I hear the Athens broadcast team mentioning the same thing, that the pitcher's hat falls off each pitch. I didn't know I thought once he just threw it down kind of in disgust, but
3-1 pitch to Jones is high, and he draws his 3rd walk of the game, and the bases are loaded again. And here comes Noah Ernst.
Ernst has certainly been a factor in these 2 big innings the Ironmen have had back-to-back. Had 2 RBI in the 6-run inning.
Flied to center. Got credit for a sacrifice bunt, singled in a couple runs, and then walked.
Scored 2 runs. They're going to have a pinch runner for Gavin. That'll be Eli Ray on first base.
As the pinch runner, we know he can run because we watch football games.
Yes, we do. And basketball games.
Pitch is in there for a strike to Noah Ernst.
And baseball games, Eli, a sophomore, got some quality pitching opportunities this year.
Right, I'm sure he'll get a lot more next year.
Yep.
Oh, 1 pitch to Ernst. Curveball in there. Nice off-speed pitch for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes.
2 outs, bases loaded. 4 runs already in. The Ironman lead is 6. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Oh, 2 pitch to Noah Ernst, and that is fouled back to the screen for strike 2.
I think we see tonight how valuable Noah Ernst is as a catcher. Obviously, pitches getting past the catcher for Athens has been part of their downfall to this point. Noah, so solid as a fielder and awfully good hitter, too.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Ernst again. That's low. It gets by the catcher. Here comes the runner, and he is going to be safe. Campbell scores, and the ball gets by the pitcher, and another runner scores.
Boy, that is heads-up running by Ryan Simets. Campbell gets in. The ball doesn't go all the way to the backstop, but it was just far enough that Boston sees it, gets in there with a slide safely. The throw then goes past the pitcher into the middle of the infield. Nobody was there, so Ryan Simets keeps running and he scores.
What a heads-up play there by Ryan Simets to score the 15th Ironman run of the game. 12 unanswered runs now for the Ironmen. Count to Ernst is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still a runner out there at second in the pinch runner, Eli Ray. And there is a deep line drive, but foul down into the corner. Noah turned on that one, but foul.
Hit it hard, hit it deep, but just foul down the left field line. 15-7. Back-to-back innings with 6 runs. 12 in a row for the Ironmen after they found themselves down by a score of 7-3.
Ernst calls time, steps out. 6 runs, a back-to-back 6-run rally to the Ironmen in the 5th and the 6th innings has turned a 7-3 deficit into a 15-7 lead. Count to Ernst is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him out. And another nightmare inning for the Athens Bulldogs finally end, but not before the Ironmen plate 6 runs. There was 2 base hits. There was 2 Athens errors, and there was 2 runners left on base. After 6 full innings of play, it's now the Jackson Ironmen 15, the Athens Bulldogs 7. You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Hello, Osborne Equipment Service.
I need to order pizza.
We don't have any pizza.
Can I get a cheeseburger?
We don't have any food. I think you might have the wrong number.
You always say you have something for everyone.
We do, with parts and service for trucks, trailers, buses, and RVs. And we're family owned and operated. We don't do food, but I've got a truck so I can go pick up a pizza if you want.
While you're at it, my mom wants a salad.
Your diesel specialist since 1979. Osborne Equipment Service in Jackson, Ohio. Call 800-937-3501.
Financial advisor Chad Niddle of Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Cincinnati Reds baseball on 97 Country The Bull, WCJO.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. I believe feeling rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about living life on your terms, with financial strategies that help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact me today at 740-286-4872 and let's find your rich.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
All right, we go to the top half of the 7th inning, and this is the last chance for the Athens Bulldogs, who less than an hour ago were sitting pretty with a 4-run lead going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Now they trail 15-7. They need 8 runs just to tie. And the first pitch from Gavin Jones is in there for a strike to Sam Trainer. It is the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Jones would be, even though he did not start, was not expected to pitch tonight, he would be the pitcher of record, and that pitch is down low, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Remember Gavin coming off a no-hit performance in the sectional championship with 14 strikeouts.
Called strike 2. He has given up a couple hits, Dan, but no runs.
Did strike out the side last inning.
In there, called strike 3.
4 strikeouts in a row. Is that right, Pete?
It is 4 strikeouts in a row and 5 now for the game. Here is Ryan Cornwell, struck out, singled, and popped up.
Jackson 2 outs away from getting to play again Wednesday night at 4 o'clock. Washington Courthouse waiting to see who they play. They got to be feeling it looks like the Ironmen.
That seed is down low, ball one, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 pitch, a little bit high, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch, right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Pete, you're an old guy like me. Does this feel a little bit like the old Eddie Jones Little League games back down there under the lights?
Well, yeah.
As it's nearing 10 o'clock tonight.
There's a swing and a foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's been a long time ago.
That's
now,
a long
friend.
time ago. You're right.
A long time ago. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You and I can remember things
I remember
like that.
playing it. I remember, okay, this is how old we are. I can remember when Eddie Jones Field was new.
Oh, exactly. Show place of Little League Baseball in all of Southeast Ohio at that
Donated
time.
land by the late Eddie Jones. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 5 straight strikeouts, and Jones and the Ironmen are 1 out away from a district championship game.
Coach McGraw going to run out and talk to him here for a moment, and they're going to make a change. You know what that means? That was 49th pitch, I'd say, by Gavin Jones. There's 2 outs left. This would allow Gavin to be able to pitch again Wednesday night. Got a feeling that was going on. We kind of saw some of the discussion and counting going on in the dugout there. We'll hear from Coach McGraw in the postgame, I know, but Xander Irvin comes in, reliever extraordinaire, has done a great job throughout his senior year when the Ironmen need him.
And Xander, yeah, by his own right, has pitched very well this year, a lot of it in relief.
Gavin will go to first base. We'll see Ramey Wyant go from first base to third base. Ironmen are 1 out away from a trip to the district championship against a team they've already beat this year 2 times, but it's never easy with Washington Courthouse. We've beat them 2 times. Last year they defeated us, 3 heartbreakers, and they defeated us in the district semifinal game.
Right, the Ironmen did beat them twice, 5-2, I believe we did that game, and then they won 11-5 the next night at Washington Courthouse.
Yes.
And the young man who pitched pretty well against the Ironmen the first time, even though he was the losing pitcher, Ryan Miller, he pitched a complete game here in the first game tonight, so I don't think we're going to see him. Doesn't mean that they're not going to throw a good pitcher at us, but Miller was who they threw at us when they had to win.
So we're seeing Xander get his last few warm-ups. I look down in the crowd, I see Scott Bragg down there, or Drew Bragg, I mean. That's his daddy, Scott. Drew Bragg down there, pretty good pitcher for the Ironmen from a couple years ago.
And Xander Irvin has completed his warm-ups, and here is Noah Sinkoff, the number 9 hitter coming up, the lefty, and the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs. That pitch from Xander Irvin is outside for ball 1.
15-7, your Ironman lead. They need 1 out.
That pitch is over the outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm sure that Irvin has one command. Throw strikes, please.
Xander's been effective at the plate. Scored
1-1
2 runs.
pitch. Curveball stays. Oh, called strike 2.
1 strike away.
He is a senior. 1-2 pitch coming. Curveball stays outside. Tried to get him to bite or fool him. Pitch was outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Irvin working quickly. Here's your 2-2 pitch. Up high, ball 3. Another off-speed pitch. Irvin unhappy with himself.
Boy, he mixes up his speeds, though. It's a variety of curves.
3-2 pitch coming. And that is just foul to the plate. Sinkoff stays alive.
5 straight strikeouts by Gavin Jones. Now Xander Irvin in to close this one out, hopefully for the Ironmen.
Irvin will deal the 2-2 again. No, the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So
nobody wanted to go home yet.
Sinkoff draws a two-out walk, and we'll go back to the top of the order in Justin Bennett.
Justin Bennett has been on base 4 times tonight. We had to get him out once on a fielder's choice, but 2 hits, a walk.
Should have been a hit. Of course, that was one of the ones where there was a ball in front of Bodie Wolford, and he threw out the lead runner at second base. He did it twice in this game. Amazing. And that's not a bad adjective to use.
He did it twice, and we're still down 7-3. Thinks what happens if he doesn't make those plays.
Count with the first pitch was called strike.
Because you can't always count on scoring 15 runs, Pete.
No, you can't. Pitch looked good, and it's called strike 2. So Irvin jumps ahead of Justin Bennett. No balls and 2 strikes. Once again, we're down to the last strike and the last out. 0-2 pitch coming. Curveball just, they called him up for strike 3.
Delayed call by the umpire, but that one finishes this one off.
No runs, no hits, no Jackson errors, 1 runner left on base. The final score, the Jackson Ironmen 15, the Athens Bulldogs 7. Jackson Ironmen score 12 unanswered runs to earn a berth in the district final game this Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock, against a familiar foe, the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions. We are going to take a 5-minute break. We'll come back and round. And
folks, you got to stay with us because you definitely want to hear, Coach McGraw talk about this one.
Right, and I need time to figure out the totals on this one.
Absolutely.
It wasn't 1-0. And Coach McGraw has a ways to come and talk to us, too, as we're up here in the Bob Wren Stadium press box, up a couple flights.
And you know what? We're going to be here again in less than 48 hours.
We will be here at 4 p.m. So the final score, the Jackson Ironmen 15, the Athens Bulldogs 7. We will return in 5 minutes to wrap this up and talk to Coach McGraw. You are listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 1330 AM and 105.3 FM.
Sir, we're receiving an urgent message from Honda Suzuki of Jackson.
Stand by. It's the Polaris liquidation sale. Everything must go. We're limited time only. Hurry into Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson now for the best selection. Check out the full inventory at HondaofJackson.com or call 740-286-4956. Yes, we have it on radar. Look at that big red roof. Do not wait. Immediate financing available. The Polaris liquidation sale happening now. Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Southeast Appalachian Regional Community Health of Ohio is proud to present The Search Project. The Search Project through the Jackson County Health Department is a program designed to decrease the negative impacts of COVID-19 and other public health issues and promote healthy behaviors through the deployment of community health work. The project is funded by CDC and serves 11 counties in southeastern Ohio. For more information, contact the Jackson County Health Department at 740-935-6322.
Start and end your day with McDonald's of Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur. Start your day off with a McGriddle. For lunch, how about a Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese? And dinner, enjoy some McNuggets or maybe a great shake and fries. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you're always cooking up something great from your Jackson, Wellston, Oak Hill, or MacArthur McDonald's. And I'm loving it. And you will too.
How do you hunt head? Build your own burrito or bowl, or pick a craft recipe from Leroy's lineup. At Hothead Burritos, we have bold burrito and bowl combinations, like the Hawaiian with fresh pineapple, seasoned chicken, and sweet habanero sauce. The Jalapeno Ranch, loaded with tender, meaty steak. And Leroy's Spicy Chicken, featuring our famous Hothead sauce. Burrito or bowl, our craft menu features even more of what you love. More choices, more flavor. It's all yours at Hothead Burritos.
Home. It's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Jackson County Banking Center wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. Jackson County Banking Center, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Financial advisor Chad Niddle of Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Cincinnati Reds baseball on 97 Country the Bull WCJO.
I'm Chad Niddle, your Jackson Edward Jones financial advisor. I believe feeling rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about living life on your terms, with financial strategies that help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact me today at 740-286-4872 and let's find your rich.
Edward Jones, Member Securities Investor Protection Corp.
Sir, we're receiving an urgent message from Honda Suzuki of Jackson.
Stand by. It's the Polaris liquidation sale. Everything must go. We're limited time only. Hurry into Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson now for the best selection. Check out the full inventory at HondaofJackson.com or call 740-286-4956. Yes, we have it on radar. Look at that big red roof. Do not wait. Immediate financing available. The Polaris liquidation sale happening now. Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson.
You're listening to Jackson Ironmen Baseball on Fox Sports 105.3 FM and AM 1330 WYPC Jackson.
All right, we're back here at Bob Wren Stadium on the campus of Ohio University, and we're joined by Coach Josh McGraw. And I tell you, you and your guys had to work for this. It was it was bad, it was good, it was bad, but it ended up really good.
Yeah, it's always good to get a win. We had to struggle with some circumstances here and there, and kind of how the game was playing out. But in the end, when you come to tournament ball at Ohio University, a W is all that really matters, and we got that in the end.
Well, I tell you what, you can look at a lot of plays, obviously in a 7-inning, 15-7 game, but Noah Sinkoff for Athens, you hit him in the first 2 innings, but then he had 2 really good innings. They were starting to hit our pitching. They had gone up 7-3. It didn't look good, and one of the attributes of a championship team is they're able to come through with the game on the line and after adversity. So even though I know it wasn't easy on you, Coach, you have to feel good about that.
Oh yeah, sometimes a sign of a really good team is you don't play well and you still win. You overcome some circumstances that happen throughout games, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball. You got to overcome some struggles, especially when you're playing in district tournament, because everybody up here is good. That Sinkoff kid on the mound today, I'd like to have him on the team. He's good. That's a great player. They came to play. They played well. We had to struggle through some, things that weren't going well. Ramey, he's been dominant all year. I think he's 5-0 with an ERA is around 1, but he just couldn't find the grip today. I could see it really in the first inning. I felt for him. Every pitcher that's played a lot of baseball has been there every now and then. That's a lonely feeling when you just can't find your grip on your fastball, curveball, and the ball's not going where you want it to. Then we had to go to relief early. He came back in the game, played a good first base, had some good at-bats. He's a team player and a senior. He's going to get another shot Wednesday. We love him. He's going to come back, and he might be the best player on the field Wednesday.
All right. Well, of course, the Bulldogs get that 5-run spot to take a 7-3 lead. And you made a fateful decision. You weren't looking to necessarily pitch Gavin Jones this game. I'm sure you didn't want to, but you pulled the trigger, brought him in, and it worked out for you. He didn't give up any runs the rest of the way, and your team was able to make the huge comeback.
Yeah, we were in a spot where I felt like we couldn't give up any more runs. In order to have it, I think we were in like the 4th or 5th inning. We're down 4 or 5. I don't even remember.
7-3.
Yeah, down 4. And that situation right there, you have to cut the bleeding. You cannot give up any more runs. You let your team get 3 more at-bats to try to chip away a little bit. Now, we end up having a monstrous inning, scoring 6 right there and taking the lead. but you can't really plan for that. You're planning to try to get 1 here, 2 there, especially against a good baseball team. But yeah, just felt like we had to go to Gavin, and he came in, did a wonderful job. And he led us right there and got us back in the game, gave us, stopped the bleeding, and our offense just exploded.
You had some big hits in there. You took advantage of some Athens walks and wild pitches. And I know that on the Athens side, you're saying, oh, my gosh, you had too many walks, too many mistakes. They had a couple big errors in there, but your team took advantage of them. I can't say how many walks you had on 3-2 pitches.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ramey came, he had to come out of the game when he came, when he's done pitching. It's kind of a decision we had to make and put Tucker in there. But Ramey came right off the bench and got a big 3-2 walk. People that will go unlooked in the scorebook, and people won't pay attention to the stands. That was huge. That allowed more runs. That was just a great at bat. So he was focused over there. Did his job, and we had that up and down through the lineup. Just a lot of discipline at the plate. Getting something we can drive and not chasing those curveballs that were off the plate or those fastballs, and making that pitcher come to us. And when he did, we made him pay.
All right, and then, 2 plays that I want to point out that you're probably not going to see happen in a baseball game were those 2 outfield assists by Bodie Wolford. We're not talking about an outfield assist throwing a runner out at third base or second base trying to stretch a single into a double or vice versa. You're talking about what looks to appear to be a clean base hit, and he cuts off the lead runner at second base not once but twice. And remember, Athens already took a 7-3 lead on you. Right. What if he doesn't get those 2 outs?
That's a completely different ball game if he doesn't get those 2 outs. Those are big plays. We kind of made a decision to play a little shallow. We didn't feel if they hit it over our head, that's our fault as a coaching staff. But we're going to bring it in, and you can play shallow, but he had to attack those baseballs. As soon as the ball was hit, he was looking to throw the guy out at second. He charged the ball just like an infielder, picked it up and gunned it. Now it does help that we have 3 cannons in the outfield. And Bodie being one of them. But you don't see those plays too often in high school baseball. That's something you see on a smaller field, and little league or travel ball, something like that. But to see a varsity high school sport, your right fielder to have 2 force outs at second, those were 2 amazing plays by he's had a great year, but that's a good young man.
Well, you talked about the arm, but what about the head?
Yeah.
To do that. And of course, Ryan Simons, I believe he was on the receiving end of both of those.
Right, exactly. Ryan was there, and he turned into a first baseman stretching out. All these young players and parents listening at home, Bodie grew up an infielder, and now he's a starting outfielder in a varsity baseball. He learned to play outfield at a young age, but also grew up an infielder. He still plays outfield and attacks like an infielder, but you want to play varsity ball or get in, for Jackson Iron program, you need to learn how to play everywhere. Cade Wolford in center field grew up and played a lot of shortstop, second base. Those kids are so versatile. That when we just basically we have just a lot of shortstops playing in the outfield, and with their mental game and physical game, they're just great players, and we let them go do what they do. And tonight that was on Bodie. There's not coaching there. He made 2 great plays.
All right, I want to go back to the comeback after you're down 7-3. Your team hasn't in this 16-game winning streak. You haven't been down very often. Here you are in the most important game of the year, the tournament. You're down 7-3. What did you see about the demeanor of your team when the game was on the line and it wasn't looking good?
They showed a lot of fight. I heard them get a little chirpy in the dugout. You're talking to each other. Let's go. And we had leaders step up today. Had some junior and senior leaders step up in the dugout, keep us going, kept them motivated, and then in addition to that, we had great at-bats that inning. We went down 4 and, came back with some great at-bats, got some walks, got some big hits. Ryan led off with, I think, that inning with a hard base hit. Then we had some good at-bats behind him. Then Noah comes in, scorches that ball for 2 RBIs, and that you could see the team just lift up. At that point, they were ready to go. And every player that came up there for the next 6, 7 batters, it seemed like, even if they made an out, they had a great at-bat. Good cuts and hitting foul balls. They just went after it and took it.
All right, less than 48 hours, you're back here again for the district championship game, a chance to go, not a chance to go to the regional. The winner does go to the regional tournament against a very familiar foe, Washington Courthouse. I know this has to be on everybody's mind. You say what you think you need to say or hold back, but what do you do on the pitching situation since Gavin pitched 2 2/3 innings?
Figure it out tomorrow.
Okay, I like that answer.
Yeah, we'll go to practice, see how everybody's feeling. We'll have practice tomorrow, get a good prep in. Talk about some game plans, different things like that. Pitching and hitting and every defense. But then we'll see how everybody feels, and we'll make a decision. We're not just a team that only has 2 or 3 pitchers. There's a lot of dogs in there, and we might just turn them all loose. Let them bark.
All right, well, we've talked about your pitching depth all year, and there was some good arms that we didn't even see tonight.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. We know Washington Courthouse pitched Will Miller, a complete game, and I believe I think he's their ace.
Yeah, they have a lot of good pitchers. They'll be ready to go, and we're going to have to fight to get that win again, and, that we're playing another very good team, and we got to come out and play.
All right, well, Coach, you're in what we call you're down to 32 teams now in the state.
Is that right?
You could be the Sweet 16 if you're able to win on Wednesday. This is a team you beat twice, but it's not going to be easy.
Right, not going to be easy. Courthouse is a very good team. Another FAC rival. We know what to expect from them. They know what to expect from us. It's just going to be a dogfight. We'll see who comes out on top. Probably the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. But yeah, you're going to have to go out there and play. And but hey, our guys are ready for it. We're playing at a high university for a district title. It doesn't get any better than that.
All right. Well, the first school bell rings about 9 hours from now, so we're going to let you go.
I think let me be late, Pete.
I think they might excuse you this time.
Show up an hour late.
But anyway, Coach, congratulations on a big win as you're heading to the district final. We, of course, will be back here for a first pitch at 4 o'clock between the Ironmen and the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions.
Hey, I wanted to thank Total Media for letting you guys come up here. It was amazing. You guys are the best. You do awesome. I appreciate you.
Hey, we thank you, Coach, for giving us an entertaining product out there. All right, Dan Morrow.
You know what? And I was saying, Coach McGraw said, can I come in an hour late? He's not coming in an hour late. He's not going to sleep at all tonight, so he might as well be at school.
No, that's right.
I
tell you, Dan, a lot of our games have been 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. This was about a 3-hour job tonight.
And it never let up. It was just so much excitement in the air. I mean, a 15-7, it sounds like a football score, doesn't it, Pete Wilson? But what a comeback from 7-3 to 15-7.
But that's what a district tournament game should be. A
lot
of
thought
excitement.
This one might be a 3-2 kind of win, but it wasn't to be tonight. So the excitement here at Bob Wren Field, it was special.
Right. A real quick summary. The Jackson Ironmen, 15 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. The Athens Bulldogs, 7 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors. The Bulldogs' errors and walks and wild pitches help create their undoing after they led 7-3. But Jackson Ironmen, of course, did what they had to do to win the game. 2 6-run innings back-to-back in the fifth and the sixth inning to win going away 15-7.
Shout out once again to Total Media for allowing us to not only stream these games, bring them to you on the radio. However you want to watch or listen to them, we will be back Wednesday night. It'll be a district championship type broadcast, and what excitement.
Right.
It's fun. And Jackson fans, make the drive over here. It's a beautiful facility. You love watching a game here. It's going to be exciting. Frontier Athletic Conference matchup against Washington Courthouse and your Jackson Ironmen. And Pete Wilson, we've won 17 games in a row. Let's keep this ball rolling.
That's right. And this one wasn't one of the easier ones, but we will take it. Gavin Jones is your winning pitcher, the third Ironman to pitch. We'll have to see if he's able to pitch at all on Wednesday. Coach McGraw either knows or isn't telling us. Or
he doesn't have to show his hand
yet. He's going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
But once again, Ramey Wyatt did not pitch very long in this game either, and he has total confidence in Ramey. Tucker had
Irvin pitches one out. He'd be very capable. We've got a number of pitchers. Our depth at pitching is very good. Our depth in the order is very good. I guess that's why you're 23-4.
Right. We'll see how they figure it out. But, on the offensive end, 10 hits to go along with 15 runs, and everybody in the lineup, or at least the 1 through 9 spots in the batting order, everybody scored at least 1 run and RBIs by 6 different players. So, once again, the Ironmen definitely get a team victory here tonight. So, for Dan Morrow, for Hayden Milliken, for Dylan Euler, for Eric Landrum, this is Pete Wilson reporting. We will be back here on Wednesday at 4 o'clock when the Ironmen play the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions. Once again, the final score, the Jackson Ironmen 15, the Athens Bulldogs 7. Good evening, everybody.